Hello, hello, everyone out there in the wasteland, and welcome to the second session of Motley Heights. I'm ELH, the Game Master, and joining me are several amazing role players, but we'll get to them in a moment. First, I have a few points of order since this is a brand new show and a brand new game. And yes, indeedy, we are using the newly released 2D20 based system Fallout 2D20 from Modiphius Entertainment. And what I would say is if you've picked up or played one of their other systems, such as Star Trek Adventures or Conan, you're going to get a lot of similarities and you're going to see the sort of subtle nuances that make this such a good system to use. Now, that said, I do have to warn you as a viewer that we are adults using adult language, and that Fallout, by its very nature, is a series that deals with a lot of difficult topics. We are going to be Twitch safe, but this is your warning that viewer discretion is advised. The other thing, on a much more lighter note, is that for the month of May, I am going to be donating half of any bits, donations, subs, whatever, to ASAN, the Autistic Self Advocacy Network. And if you want to donate directly to that cause and not give Twitch their cutout, which I can understand why, there should be a link that you can get in chat. Just type !charity and it should pop up in chat. Last thing I need to mention is that there is already a Fallout 2D20 community Discord and subreddit, and we already have a bunch of homebrew and other tools, some of which you'll see tonight, that are extremely useful. So I would say look for that in chat and below the video on YouTube when the VOD goes up. But enough of me monologuing, let's hear from the players, starting with Mr. Darewolf to my left.
Hey everybody, my name is Darewolf, at Darewolf Gaming on Twitter and Twitch, and I am playing Sergeant Nicholas T, Brotherhood of Steel.
That's you, Aaron.
Correct, it is me. Hey guys, I'm Aaron. I am going to be playing Draxus, the Intelligent Deathclaw. Looking forward to a great game.
And last but not least.
Yeah, I'm Professor X, and I will be playing everyone's favorite ghoulish curmudgeon, Dr. Worm.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't know me by now, I'm ELH the Game Master, or maybe Overseer in this instance. But let's sort of dive into today's session. So today's session is going to see the trio walking towards a series of office buildings. And in particular, you all are seeking out ArcJet systems. I can English today. And what you know of ArcJet is that they were, and this is all from Angela, they were supposedly a pre-war military civilian aerospace contractor. And their whole premise, their whole reason to tear, was to put human feet on Mars in conjunction with the United States Space Administration. Now, whether or not they ever succeeded is unclear. Angela didn't really know. It was kind of a rumor she'd heard. But what you do know for a fact is that all ArcJet facilities are treasure troves of materials, technology, and information, which makes it the perfect opportunity for you all to acquire some odds and ends so that Angela can rig up a bunch of automated defenses for your home to the east. Now, that's all well and good, but most of the time, all of this goodies is protected by lethal countermeasures, even in normal office space, which usually makes it mean that a corpse remains rather than treasure making it out of such facilities. I'm sure you'll be fine. But before I actually start giving you any details about the building, I did want to give you all an opportunity to roleplay a little bit, because I know we had a conversation to continue from off stream. So take it away.
Are we not going to talk about this?
I don't want to talk about it. I think we should
gonna
table it like we did everything else.
That's you. Your classic avoidance is what you do. You take everything that you don't want to talk about, that you don't want to face in the moment, and you table it. That table is getting pretty weak. The legs are getting real wobbly under all the shit you're piling onto it.
What table?
It's the one you threw up onto the church. It's where I put all my problems. And by the way, doctor, you are a medical doctor, not a psychological doctor. Like get into my brain or whatever. You barely put me back together. All right.
The brain is one of the medical things.
Yeah. All right. Like your brain's all rotten and full of radiation, but what do I know?
And I'm gonna Dr. Worm will like get in close to Nicola's face and be like, cocktail wiener, cocktail wiener, cocktail wiener.
I don't want to talk about it.
See? Classic trigger.
Why are you making me uncomfortable here? Like, is this some sort of like thing you get off up on? I don't know. By the way, Draxus, did we ever actually, because I blacked out when Angela was telling us where to go. I was distracted by her red hair and voluptuous, medical parts. With that being said, did we actually verify what she told us? Like, where are we going? I kind of blacked out there.
We have to go to ArcJet Systems.
Right. And what are we looking for again?
An XMB booster engine? I don't know.
Ooh, all right. Well, in that case, let's not talk about wiener dogs. We're tabling that. I look directly at the doctor. All right, and let's move on in here. We should probably do a little bit of scouting. Let's not step on a bottle again. Sorry about that. My bad. But we should probably just, get in there and get the job done, don't you think?
I mean, that's why we're going, isn't it? I mean, Nikki, I think the doc has a point,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We're going to do this right here, right in the middle of the wasteland.
Yeah,
we're going to have this conversation. We have an intervention for Sergeant Nicholas T.
Let's take a dagger out.
I mean, okay, like
right,
number one.
Let's just chisel that into the fucking table, shall we?
All right, let's chisel. Let's get to chisel.
I mean,
lay it on me. Come on.
I don't think you're technically a sergeant anymore. I think they'd probably throw you in like a stockade or prison or like firing squad if they still have those.
What are we talking about?
Well, you keep introducing yourself as Sergeant Nicola T. I think you just need to embrace yourself as an identity, Just
that is my identity. I was a sergeant in the Brotherhood.
Right. You were.
Leave. I'm on leave. I didn't desert. I'm on leave.
Cocktail wiener.
Oh my God. You know what? We're done. We're done with this. You know what?
Ball.
I tried to be open to your help, your medical professional advice, and Draxus, I expect more from you.
It's called aversion therapy. It's a totally legitimate means of helping your psychological garbage.
Yeah, and if you don't like that and you want something a little more sadomasochistic, there's also trauma theory.
Nicola T is going to turn around and walk towards the building and ignore his friends.
He always does this.
Every single time. It's embarrassing for him, really.
Well, as Nicola T wanders forward, I'll actually give you a little bit of description of the building you're approaching. So, from the outside, the office itself seems fairly benign. I mean, it's a 2-story brick building with thick metal shutters over the windows. And maybe when I say benign, I don't mean from everything's hunky-dory sense, but it's not like covered in razor wire. It's not like covered in mines or automated turrets. The reason I'm saying that is because as you start to sort of see the front of the main entrance, you see that there's signs of skirmishes, some fresher than others. So you're looking at bullet holes, you're looking at scar marks, you're looking at a little bit of burns. And on the white double doors themselves, in black spray paint, are the words "not worth it," with "worth" spelled with a U rather than an O. And there's also like this cartoonish like skull and bones underneath the words, but they messed up the bones, and instead of being like that X under the skull, it's like an S, and it looks really weird.
I don't know why they thought that we would want to know this information. Like, we didn't come here looking for food.
Drax, you can't possibly be this stupid. You can't. I mean, it's like, it's biologically impossible. You just can't.
What do you mean?
Well, tabling the table thing, which is
Right.
this is like the fourth time I've had to explain the concept of a metaphor to you. That is obviously one of two things. Either one, this is some kind of poorly spelled means of protecting us from God knows what's in there, and just trying to do a community service. Or two, it's a psychological tactic because contrary to popular belief, I do know a little bit about psychological medicine. It's a means of keeping us out because there's some cool shit in there.
So, all right. Getting back to the table for just a second. I know what a metaphor is. I keep asking what table because I know you don't like it. And two, not worth it. Look at how worth is spelled. Wurth. Clearly referring to Bratwurth.
Okay, earlier I made a statement about scientific fact.
Right.
I'm willing to retract that statement. Actually, it is biologically possible that you may in fact be that stupid.
You know, we talked before about words hurting.
Oh, not this again. Come on. We had we had a thing where I gave you a thing and you were like, thanks for the thing. And then you got all weird about it. And then I left. And now it's like over. There's just don't be a pansy about it.
Draxus, don't listen to him. He's just angry because he's, partly not alive.
Oh, yeah. Everything comes back to me not being alive because that's all I think about 100% of the time. 100%. That's just all my brain is going after is the fact that technically I'm dead and everyone I loved or hated or ever knew is now centuries gone. And I don't understand the world that I'm in right now. And I'm just wandering about like some kind of haunted ghoul, some kind of phantom moving through the earth without some kind of direction or moral imperative. I'm just drifting endlessly in some kind of existential angst until I inevitably decay and the rest of the universe collapses into some kind of cold death.
All right.
Exactly.
We'll table that discussion for now. But
for
Doc,
fuck's sake.
Does that little glare look like a glint of a sniper scope to you?
Oh, hails. I'm gonna die for cover.
All right, so we see Nikola T literally leaping into the alleyway between two buildings, and as you look up, let's actually get a roll on the table here. Let's have Dr. Worm. I would like you to roll me a perception and a survival, please. Difficulty of 1.
Okay, perception and survival. Survival for me is a tag skill.
Noted.
Nice.
All right, let's check. That's already the successes you need, but let's check that one. What is your current score in survival?
3.
All right, so it is a 4, so that's only just the 1. Got it. So you look carefully where Draxus is pointing, and yeah, I mean, at first look, your instincts tell you that it's a sniper scope. But then you pause and, kind of narrow your eyes and look at it a little bit closer. It's one of those, like, dummy sniper perches where somebody has, like, set up a Nuka-Cola bottle and, like, half a pipe gun to make it look like there's a sniper there.
False alarm. That's just a dummy. Oh, and there's a blind set up there to fool us.
Nikola T is going to get up and brush himself off. Yeah, I knew that. I was just, making sure you guys are feeling spry and practicing diving for cover because shut up. All right, so there's a fake sniper post and a misspelled something about bratwurst.
It's not. That's not what brought. Look, it's very clear. There's something in there.
It's pronounced Bratwurth. It's a German word.
Pretty sure
I have to interject real quick, everybody. We got our first Wild Wasteland redeem, which means I get to roll on the table. So for those who are not familiar with Fallout, basically Wild Wasteland is a perk that it enables some very weird and very, I think, funny events. So I actually have a table in real life, and I'm going to roll on it with real dice, and let's see what happens.
Gonna roll on the all bratwurst table.
I keep telling you, Bratwurth. It's a
So
word. You don't.
Never thought we'd use that table, but here we are.
Well, it's funny you mention it because as you all are conversing and you start to hear the sound of something falling, something very large falling, and you look up just at the right moment to see a Brahmin, like the two-headed cow, plummeting out of the sky, mooing the entire way down. It lands right next to you all and just sprays everywhere, the sides of the building, all over you, just Brahmin everywhere.
Oh, hell. What the fuck was that? Oh,
This is amazing. It's raining meat.
oh.
Hallelujah.
Now, the good news is that you can actually still scavenge for meat if you so inclined.
That's
Are you
all on you,
guys-
Draxus.
Are you guys going to eat that Brahmin?
Nope, it's on you. You
Yeah,
go.
yeah, have at it, buddy. I actually have some dignity left, so.
Love it.
As I was saying before this act of an angry god happened, look, this is clearly set up to keep us out of this facility because there's something choice in there, and it's clearly based on the spelling of the warning, guarded by fucking idiots. So I think we can probably pilfer something.
We'll be fine. Let's get in there.
All right.
Did he practice that? That looked rehearsed.
He does it in the mirror like for about 25 minutes every morning.
All right. So before we move forward, I did want to make sure of a few things. Draxus, do you wish to loot what remains of the Brahmin?
Yes, please.
All right. Well, the good.
I'll need a snack for the road.
Fair enough. So the good news is that you can
Fresh out
mark
of
on your
onions.
character sheet that you get 2 slabs of Brahmin meat. Now, that's not cooked. You are still, well, maybe not you specifically if you eat it, but anyone else needs to cook it.
It wasn't cooked
and-
by its a re-entry into the atmosphere.
Tempting, but no, because there's an actual reason that I not only rolled, but developed this event this way. Let's just say that there's an actual reason why the cow fell out of the sky, which you may find out later.
It's just getting back from jumping over the moon.
I mean, clearly. But
Well, where's the
other
silver spoon then?
oh my god.
Was that the
I
cat?
find a cat in a cradle.
It's over there. It's
Right.
getting away.
Yeah.
These are my players, everybody. Their goal in life is to make me laugh so that my model breaks. This is their job. But I do want to make sure. So if I understand correctly, you're going to go through the front door. You're going to not check for like a back door or like a place to get in. You're just going to go through the front door, if I understand correctly.
No, I was gonna do a perimeter sweep first. if
Okay.
That's all right.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to be clear. So let me ask this. What is your lockpick skill and what is your repair skill?
I don't have any.
You don't have any. Okay.
No.
I actually have a 3 in lockpick, so
I'm
All
a
right.
Deathclaw. What's your excuse?
I focused on mainly sneaking, speaking, and survival, and not having to pick things.
Well, that actually will come into play very shortly. But since Dr. Worm has a lockpick, I would like you to roll me a perception in lockpick at a difficulty of 2. And looking at the redeems, I think you guys are sitting at 5 action points right now.
Oh, hot damn.
cool. Now I don't have physically like a lockpick.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? A bobby pin or some kind of tool. So
No, I mean,
I have
this
a
is just you applying your knowledge and eyes to see if there's
Okay,
anything
all right.
pickable along the outside of the building.
so you said perception and lockpick. Okay.
You got it.
I'm going to spend an action point just to get that extra d20.
Love it.
All right.
Okay, so 3 d20s, perception, and lockpick.
Wow,
Hey.
that's actually 4 successes. So you get 2 action points back. I think you're a cap now.
Damn.
So, with a check like that, what I'm going to tell you is that on the right side of the building, or the east-facing side of the building, there is what appears to be a broken shutter lock on one of the metal shutters. And because you succeeded so well, you think that if you just get like a little bit of metal or a little bit of wood or just anything between where the lock and the shutter are connected, you could probably just break it open easy and get inside that way.
Oh, I do have a switchblade on me, so I guess I'll go kind of in the same direction that Nicola went, and say,
Right here. Yeah. Classic Tamalak. These things just fall apart like nothing. You just put a blade in there, maybe get a rock or something. That sucker's coming off.
You sure you want to use your blade? I've got a crowbar in my backpack.
Hey, if you want to contribute, then by all means.
And like we could work together as a team. Stop being so confrontational.
That sounds like bullshit.
That does sound like bullshit, doesn't it? You piece of shit. Fucking cool.
Go get the crowbar.
Yeah, well, it's in my backpack. Crowbar. I'll hand it to him.
All
I want
right,
to use
well,
some foolish strength that I've heard so much about.
Watch and learn.
well, whoever is using the crowbar, I need a very simple, as in for the love of all that is holy, no complications, please. I need a very simple strength and athletics. That's all I need. Just difficulty 1, just roll 1 die under. That's all you have to do.
all right. So my strength is 4, and my athletics is 0.
Nice. And you still managed to get 2 successes.
Holy mother!
Actually,
of God.
3 successes because that's a 1.
I'm
That
a
is
walking
impressive.
miracle.
So you actually have floating AP. You have 2 floating AP, which maybe you could use it to do it quicker if you so wished. I think that's one of the valid spends is you could do it very quickly.
How many AP have I got floating? 2?
You've got 2, which reduced time is a 2 AP spend.
Yeah. Then I'll dump it on that.
All right, so Nicola T and Draxus, I like to imagine Worm takes the crowbar, slams it in under where the broken lock is, and with a single swift motion, almost like Jackie Chan, whenever Jackie Chan like does the chopping of like wood or concrete or whatever, it's so fast that you almost miss it. You hear a snap, and then the metal shutter rolls up, revealing a broken window that you can now climb through.
You were saying?
I'm impressed. That's well done. I stand corrected.
This may shock you, but before I was a doctor, I was involved in other enterprises. So this ain't my first time.
Tip my hat to you, sir. And take my crowbar back, put it in the backpack, and let's get going.
All right.
Are we gonna bring the big guy?
Drex,
That
can
is
you
what
feel
I
this
was going to
door?
say next is Draxus might fit
It's-
through the window, but it's a stretch. It's really a stretch.
I mean, how about this? You're just going in there to reconnoiter. You guys will probably have an easier time flying under the radar.
Well, hold on a second. I'm sorry, but let me just take a minute. Okay, you don't know how to pronounce bratwurst, but reconnoiter just like falls out of your mouth. Who are
Okay,
you?
okay. Well, all right. Well, I thought we established this. I'm Draxus. I'm from the New California Republic, originally, from a little bit everywhere. But right now, I think the issue is, why can't you pronounce bratwurst?
Okay, so here's my suggestion. We cut off his arms and legs, and then he fits easily into the window.
Okay, well, let's calm down with cutting off arms and legs. Maybe you can regrow it back, Mr. Ghoul.
I'm
man,
just
but
saying, it's really easy. We wouldn't even need anesthetic because this guy is.
Drex,
you
we're
know.
keeping your arms and legs attached, all right? But
Yeah, so why don't you guys just go inside? I'll sort of mill around out of sight. There's a perfectly good set of double doors right there that I really don't think could stand up to me all that well. So if I hear any gunfire, I'll just come right in the front.
oh, you know what? Just wait for the word. If you hear the word, you'll know to come in, and then I dive in through the window.
All right. So to be very clear, you're not sneaking through the window. You are diving through the window.
Let's get weird. Oh yeah, all in.
All right. So what happens is Nicola T literally vaults through the window, and what you see is that you emerge into a sea of cubicles. It is quite literally a cubicle farm. And the walls of the cubicles themselves are about 4 feet tall. So it's not even like the fully personal ones. It's like, anybody walking by can just sort of lean in and kind of do that menacing looking over your shoulder type thing. But that's the good news. The bad news is the following. The cubicles themselves are a mess. And what I mean is that you're looking at various office supplies and debris that are sort of littered across the floor. And even some of the cubicle walls have these big old chunks that have been taken out of them. And the reason for that is a wall-mounted machine gun turret that is activating and beginning to point in your direction. So I need to know one thing, Mr. Nicolati. What is your initiative?
13.
13? Okay. Let me just double check what the turret is. I don't think it has the 13, but you never know. Let's see.
The world's fastest turret.
I regret nothing.
You're good. It has an 11. So you do get to act before the turret starts shooting at you.
So around me, any good place to like dive for cover, like behind one of these cubicles, like down underneath them or something?
Yeah, I would say you could easily get into cover underneath a cubicle or behind a wall, but I would simply point out again that some of the cubicle walls have big old like chunks taken out of them. And now that you know that there's a turret, I think you can make the connection.
Cool. I am going to fire my las gun at it and try to blow it up.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, just YOLO. Let's get weird. Just go all in and hope that I don't get, riddled with bullet holes.
Well, that's the hope anyway.
So that is a 1. Can I
to let you know, the defense on the turret is 2, so you will need to roll 2 successes to hit it.
Okay. Guys, can I spend some Nuka-Cola? Do you mind?
No.
By all means.
Thank you. I'm going to spend 3, so I get 4 dice.
Mm-hmm.
And let's do 4 dice. My special for that is...
Now I need to ask, is it a tag skill for you? So
Yes.
I know to look. Okay.
Yes, it is. And 3.
All right. So what is your skill? Is it a 3?
It is a 3.
All right, then that is actually 6 successes that you just rolled. Very nice. And I believe that gives you, trying to think how many floating, you have 1 floating AP right now.
So I got 3 and I got 4 floating. Or 1 floating, sorry. Excuse me.
Yeah, 1 floating and you're at cap. So I would recommend spending some AP, or actually no, because it's a ranged attack, you have to spend ammo, but you could maybe spend ammo that way.
So this has piercing 1 quality too.
Which means that every effect rolled is going to reduce the DR of the location you hit.
And
Now
it
you
also
could-
has a rate of fire of 2. So I will spend 2 ammo to roll extra dice, which gives me 1 extra die or 2 extra die. I think
Should
it's
give you 2 extra dice.
Love it.
Did you spend that AP on like extra dice or?
Well, if it was a melee attack, he could have, but because it's a ranged attack.
Okay, yeah. You could spend that 1 AP to like. I could see you probably obtaining information from this.
Yeah. Can I maybe see if there's like a power source nearby or something to the turret that I could like knock out or something after I blast at it, if it's not already dead?
What's your science skill like?
Oh, buddy. It's a 0.
It's a 0. I'm going to say that you do notice what appears to be some form of control box or a box that at least has a glowing LED on it. But since you have a science of 0, I think you have no idea what the box is.
Shiny boom boom. Cool. And terrible dice rolls.
Yeah, there's your terrible dice rolls. Now you could use your luck here to re-roll 3 of those if you wish to.
That I'm going to do. That was horrible. All right. Boom. All right. That is so 4, 5, 6, 7 plus 3 effects. So minus 3 because it's got piercing. Or no, it's piercing 1. So it's up to a maximum of 1. Or how does that work?
It's one for every. It's like Star Trek Adventures, where piercing 2 means that it's 2 resistance per effect. Piercing 1 is 1 resistance per effect. So you take a shot with your pistol and you hit the turret center mass, and you nearly actually sever where the actual gun portion is attached to the wall. Unfortunately, it is not quite enough damage to put the turret down. So everybody else, you hear Nicola, leap in, hit the ground, shout something unintelligible, then fire once, and then immediately afterwards, so you'll go after this, immediately afterwards, the turret opens fire. And I believe your defense is a 1, correct?
What is defense based off of?
It is based off of agility, if I remember correctly. If you have a certain high enough agility, it becomes a 2. But what is your agility?
Pretty sure it's a 2 then.
Let's double check. Because that will make a difference here.
If your agility is 9 or higher, your defense is 2. Otherwise, it's 1.
It's 1, ELH.
Okay. Then you are going to suffer... Yeah, I'm not going to be that mean. You suffer 2 points of damage to your torso. So, of course, reduce that damage by any energy resistance you have on your torso. But again, for the people outside, you hear the gunshot, and then there's a burst of a laser that hits Nicola, even through cover, hits Nicola in the back.
Ah, shit.
Was that the word?
Yeah, that I think that counts.
All right, so I'm just going to throw us into initiative order here. And we're going to go rules as intended. So you 3 are, let's see. So Nicola, you said you're a 13. Draxus, what is your initiative?
11.
11. And Worm, what is your initiative?
13.
13. All right, so what I'm going to say then is Worm, Nicola T, Turret, Draxus is how we'll roll through this. So Worm, you're up first.
Okay. Let's see. Then, so that window is just busted out because obviously Nicola just like leapt through it.
Oh yeah. You can get through it pretty easily.
Okay. Is it gonna take a while for me? Because I'm obviously not gonna leap through it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Actually, no. I'm gonna go around to where Draxus is, and I'm going to like open one of the doors, the double doors in the front, and then put myself back against the concrete wall, right? Or, the wall portion.
Mm-hmm.
And try to take some pot shots in there at the first thing I see that's not Nicola T.
All right. Well, I have good news and I have bad news. When you push open the door and you sort of peek inside, there's this sort of soft rush of air that washes over you that smells like sickly sweet, almost like decay. And what you see is that this is actually a different room. It's a reception area with a classic reception desk, 2 filing cabinets, some chairs for guests. And to the left of the desk is the entrance to the employee restroom. And to the right is, based on what you know of the interior layout so far, the right leads to where Nicola T currently is. However, big problem. As the door opens, 2 semi-spherical cases in the ceiling open up to reveal more laser turrets. Now, with you behind cover and out of their sight, they're not going to shoot at you, but you have discovered 2 more laser turrets.
I think Dr. Worm will see that and then immediately go like stock still against the wall, just and then look at Draxus and just kind of like motion like,
No, don't go. Stop. Don't. Pew pew. Don't do it.
All right. Okay.
All right. Well, Nicola T, I believe it's your move next, unless you want to do anything else, Mr. Worm, Dr. Worm.
Thank you. Maybe I do. Let's see here. I would like to. Okay. We'll say that the interaction from my minor was to open the door, right?
Mm-hmm.
That seems fair. For my major action, I'd like to defend.
Okay. Interesting. I don't think anybody's done defend, but as it's a teaching moment, let's go over it. So, defend, if I recall correctly, as I frantically pull up the page, I believe it actually confers a number of resistance dice to the next attack against you, correct?
Add the number of successes you generate to your defense. This number becomes your defense until the beginning of your next turn. If I'm
That is significantly better. I love it. It is a agility and an athletics test, is what I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's equal to your current defense, which I think is 1, so it is only a difficulty of 1.
Oh, hold on. No, it's not that many. Unless this has been errated. If you succeed, add +1 to your defense. For 2
Yes.
AP, add an extra +1.
That is correct. Yes, that is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna do 2d20s.
Okay.
And then it was agility and athletics. Is that right?
You got it.
Okay. With my sterling athletics of 0.
All right. Well, with no successes but not a complication, I think you're sort of frozen in such a way that you're still not in the line of fire, but you also don't get further into cover, if you get what I'm saying.
Right.
All right. Well, Nicola T., you have no idea what any of this is because a turret is shooting at you. What would you like to do for your turn?
I mean, shoot back at it, ideally. Let's do it. And I think I'm going to spend some of that sweet action points, at least 1 to give myself an extra die.
Noted.
And let's hope for the best. Let's see your generic roller. 3, 8, and 3.
That is rather good. 10s across the board. Interesting.
I'm okay
So
with that.
you do get an action point back for your troubles. And yeah, go ahead and roll me some damage. Let's see if you take out the turret.
And I have to decide if I'm using 2. You know what? You said it was almost gone. I'm just going to not use two bullets. I'm going to use 1.
Just a single. Noted. And that actually is more than sufficient. So you kind of do one of those Keanu Reeves style dives between cubicles, firing your weapon. And when you land on the ground on your left shoulder, you hear the unmistakable sound of metal screeching and then the turret snapping off of the wall and falling defunct to the floor. However, when that happens, I'm actually going to spend one of my own action points to trigger the effect that now that the noise has been made and a turret has gone offline, those 2 turrets in the front atrium are now hyperactive, meaning that they are on Overwatch. Now, you don't know that, Nicola T., but I think it's fair that Worm and Draxus could easily look in and actually hear the sound of active beeping and active scanning as the turrets do 360 sweeps of the room.
They seem really upset.
Fuck. This has got to be Nicholas' fault.
As I lay on my left shoulder. Yeah, that's right. That's Nicola T style turret. You didn't know who you were fucking with.
Well, the good news is that since nobody is in line of sight of the turrets, no action is taken on the turret's turn. Which brings us to Mr. Draxus.
I mean, we've got to get in there.
Okay, so what I want you to do is you're going to create a kind of a makeshift bandolier and fill it with grenades. Then you're going to sling it across your torso and just leap in there like you're belly flopping into a pool.
You must think I'm some kind of idiot.
Well, I mean, we refer to my previous conversation.
Right. All right, then. And with that, Draxus is just going to charge in. And try to pull one of the turrets out of the ceiling.
Noted.
I guess.
So I
or-
actually have
or
a perk question
attack.
for you because I know
Mhm.
we did level up.
Mhm.
Did you take a certain perk that lets you do charging?
Oh, I did not.
No. We'll talk during the break, as I think you really, really want this perk. Like this perk would make
Well-
you unstoppable. So we'll
Oh,
chat during break.
Another one. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, the turrets were on Overwatch, so
Sure.
they are going to get 2 shots at you.
Okay.
So the first one is going to do a grand total of 3 damage energy to your torso.
Okay.
And the second one will deal 2 damage, removing 2 resistance to your left leg.
Okay.
And that is all energy, if it matters.
I have resistance to all damage types, but that last one got through.
He's basically invincible.
So that will
In a
bring me
sense.
down to.
He's a Deathclaw Sue, so he can do anything.
Yeah.
No, I'm actually very hyper aware. Like this is actually a good opportunity for me to not only make sure that I didn't like
stress test it.
overtune. Yeah, it's stress testing. It's a work in progress. But
Yep.
yeah, you've run in, you've taken your shots, Draxus. If you want to try and rip a turret out of the ceiling, go for it.
All right. Let's give it an old unarmed attack. I'm gonna roll 2 d20s. Hopefully this will come back, but I'm gonna spend one of our action points to roll an additional d20.
Alrighty.
Oh, oops.
Survey says
Generic roller. We're gonna do 3 d20s. We've got here. And this is a tag skill.
noted. All right, let's check. What is your unarmed?
My unarmed is 4, so that 3 is a.
It's 3 successes. You get your momentum back, or not your momentum, your action point back. And yeah, go ahead and roll me some damage. Though this is where action points can be spent for damage. So it is, if I recall correctly, it's 1 action point for 1 damage.
Yeah, 1 for 1, but we're gonna.
And you can spend up to 3 AP. All right. Do you wish to re-roll any of that, or you want to keep the 5?
I think I'd like to re-roll the 2. I'll re-roll the 2 that I missed. Look at that.
Hey,
And that is sufficient. That Draxus, you take a shot in your torso and you keep charging forward. You take a shot in your left leg, you keep charging forward. You ready your left claw in a sweeping motion, and you wrench your arm upwards, digging your claws into the turret itself in a horrendous screech of metal. And you clench your fist, severing the turret from the ceiling itself, and then you rip it down and toss it aside like it was nothing. So that's another turret down.
I'm actually gonna, if I could, toss it outside so that Dr. Worm can see it.
Yeah, so I think that is what happens is Worm, there's a turret that just sort of flies past you and clatters on the what remains of the sidewalk next to you.
Jesus Christ. I didn't mean that. I said it, but I didn't mean for you to just rush in there.
Well, there's an old saying. Fools rush in, or Deathclaws rush in where ghouls fear to tread.
Heard that. That's hilarious.
Well, Mr. Worm, Dr. Worm, it is your turn. I don't know why I keep calling you
Mr.
Mr.
Worm?
I don't know why.
Because you
keep doing
don't
that.
respect my authority as a medical professional.
I think it's fairly clear that the rest of us don't either. So.
All right. Well, next time that your guts are just hanging out of your body, then don't come crying to me. Why don't you go find one of these slimline staplers in here to fucking suture yourself up? How about that?
I'll go to a Deathclaw doctor.
Oh yeah, because they're just like hanging out. Yeah. So I think that I would at that point, I would sort of like duck my head in. I want to use the aim minor action,
which will let you reroll 1d20.
Right, and then I want to take some pot shots at the remaining turret.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so how many AP have we got? Are we still at cap?
Yeah, you're still at cap.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to spend 1 to get the
Okay.
3d20s.
Done.
Let's see. So that is agility and the small guns, which is a tag skill for me and is now at 4.
Noted.
All right.
The bad news is unfortunately to hit a turret.
Wait.
Oh,
I
you do
wanted
get to reroll. Go ahead.
I wanted to reroll the 1. Yeah. Okay. So 1d20, 6, 4.
And that is what you need. So yes, you are able to hit the turret with your. And what are you using? You're using a
Pipe gun.
pipe gun. All right. Yeah. You take your little pipe gun and it goes, pew, and it hits the turret. Now, if it does any damage, I don't know, but it is your call at this point. If you spend any extra ammo to.
Yes,
Get
I
more
do
dice.
spend extra. So I guess it would be 3 in total, right? Because it's 1 and then the 2 extra.
That would be correct.
Yeah. So I'm going to spend the 2 extra and I'm going to roll 5 challenge dice, combat dice.
Yeah, I know. It gets me. I love how they always use like CD. It's always lovely confusing. All right. Do you wish to spend a luck to reroll those 2 zeros? Or you want to keep your 3?
I'm going to spend a point of luck to reroll the zeros.
Okay.
So that's 2 more challenge dice. All right.
And
Better
that
than
is 4. And do you have any effects like piercing on your pipe gun?
I have close quarters and unreliable. So no.
Okay. All right. So it's I'm gonna put it this way, but it's gonna sound weird, but Draxus, like you're in the mode, like you're ready to rip and tear, like you are on the moon of Mars, you are ready to tear some guts out of people. You hear the small meowing of a gun, and you look in just the right amount of time to see these little pellets from Dr. Worm's gun impact the turret next to you, denting it a little bit, but it's almost like he took like an air rifle and just shot like 2 pellets at the turret for all the good it did.
You know, you ought to be careful with that thing. You'll shoot your eye out.
You don't
That
even
is-
know what that's from. You're just saying things. You're classic millennial. You're just throwing stuff out there. You know, you don't have any idea what it's referencing. You don't have the history or the richness of the culture.
Yeah. Okay, Adam Boomer.
Yeah. Okay, pre-boomer.
Oh my god.
All right, fine. You know what? I'm just gonna leave. How about that? You guys can get turned into Swiss cheese by energy weapons, and I'll just
Now
I'll just be
don't
on
get
my
your
way.
rotten flesh in a bunch. Come
Yeah, I
on now,
can-
we're fine.
Dish it out, but can't take it.
Well, Mr. Nicola T, it is your turn unless Worm wants to spend for major action.
Is there? Yeah, I'm gonna spend some AP to take a major action to fuck off. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh no!
Is that a move I could do? Let me check the rule book. It says here. It says right here. It says if your teammates are not appreciating you as a person, you could just fuck right off. No check needed. It's right here. Just check it. Yeah, page 26, right here.
I feel like I'm gonna have to add that in homebrew at some point.
Please
Just
see
like one
page
of the
XX.
just like one of those debugging section of my missions where it's like, one of my players wants to fuck off. What should I do? Well, let him spend 2 action points and let him fuck off. That's how you handle these things.
Yeah, can we post that on the forums? Just get a
Yeah.
ruling on that. See
I think we could.
how much it costs to fuck off.
Oh my god.
Classic.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, Wolf, what do you got?
Oh boy. I mean, that's a hard round to follow up. But I guess I'll just shoot the other turret with my laser
Well,
gun.
There's a door, like a literal wooden door between you and where Draxus and Worm are right now.
I would like to move up and kick
Mhm.
that door open, and scream, "Who's your daddy?" and then take some shots.
I need
Gonna-
you to roll me before we actually resolve any of that.
Got to work on your type 5 there.
I need you to roll me a agility and either explosive or sneak at a difficulty of 2.
I can do that. I'm gonna spend a action point to get an extra die.
I think I know where this is going.
Me too. Let's watch.
I'm about to blow off my fucking leg.
Crippled.
It's definitely a landmine.
Blink or whatever the noise is.
Beep, 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 beep.
All right, so do you want to spend luck to reroll? It is an option.
Absolutely. Good sir. Absolutely.
I mean, I believe. Maybe I shouldn't believe. I feel like I'm a curse if I believe.
Hey, you're a player too, and if your fun comes from mutilating him, then
There you go. You got your 2. So actually what happens is, Nicola T, as you rush towards the door, you hear a beep, 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 and it gets louder and louder, but you rush past it quick enough that what actually happens is, as you open the door and Draxus and Worm can now see you, explosion behind you, but not in a damaging way, just an explosion from behind him.
I don't look back at it.
of course
Walk away from it slowly.
So that's your minor action. What are you doing for your major action?
you get shrapnel in your ass.
I like it. It's my fetish. All right, let's move on. All right, I'm gonna shoot the turret with my laser gun because that seems like a great idea. Am I at close range? Or
You are at close range, correct.
All right, cool. Spend 1 action point, and I will do generic. And 3, and this is tag. Oops, I keep doing that. So 3 dice, 8, 3.
And that is sufficient to hit it. In fact, I believe you actually get an action point back from that.
Cool beans. And I would like to spend my extra. I'd like to spend 2 ammo to do this as the 2 shot. So I get the extra 2 dice, and then I will roll 6.
All right. Do you wish to reroll those zeros?
You know what? Yeah, why not? Let's do it. Hey,
And that is sufficient. That, as Cool Guy doesn't look at explosions, as Nicola T runs in, kind of aims at the turret, and with a trio of shots, brings the last turret down, ending combat for the time being.
That's how you do it, Draxus.
I mean, I don't think I could hold a gun.
Right. Anyway, click, and then let's start investigating this place. Oh, by the way, there might be landmines, so watch where you're walking. I almost blew up on one, but I was fine.
Yeah, I think you can go first.
I think we should make the doctor go first. I'm always going first.
Yeah, but
doctor, we have something for you to do.
No, Sergeant Nicola T leading the way, right? Like it's kind of your thing, right?
All right.
Don't you want to be able to brag? Don't you want to be able to brag to Angela when we get back about how you led the mission?
I want to come back to Angela with all my medical parts in place, but these are things that we can talk about. Maybe table.
I think you gotta put the Brahmin before the shopping cart here.
What?
Well, I think you're getting a little ahead of yourself. I don't even think she likes you.
I mean, what do you mean she doesn't like me?
I mean, I just don't think she likes anybody.
Hey, yeah, just to be clear, she definitely doesn't like you. Not after I told her about that rash.
What? Isn't there some sort of Hippocratic oath or something? You're not supposed to say these things out loud. Like I come to you in good confidence, and yeah, we joke around, but fucking cock blocking, undead, rotten piece of.
The Hippocratic oath is like do no harm. There's no patient.
You're harming my game,
yeah.
Doc. You're harming my game. Okay.
Really, if that rash is what do they call that, Doc? Communicable. If it's communicable,
oh yeah,
really,
highly communicable.
Not disclosing it to Angela would be harming her by omission.
That's right. It's a violation of.
You said
of
the cream
ethics.
would fix it.
It will. After several years of application, yeah. Look, the medicines these days are not as potent. I'm sorry. We're making it out of like bean paste and like day old alcohol.
Oh.
It's
and I mean that we did find that like run over bloatfly and just put a little bit of that.
Oh yeah.
All right.
That was-
So if I remember correctly, we
that's
came into
that's
this
why it
building
burns.
not to talk about, what sort of rashes I may or may not have and the decade of cream application I'll have to be using, but we came in here to find some things so we could prepare defenses for our town. So I
Right.
suggest we.
Well, I
mosey
pulled
on.
I pulled a laser turret out of the ceiling. It's back there, pretty much intact.
Can we start scavenging for like laser turret parts?
Yes, and that actually was going to be my next question. So, the turrets you have quote unquote killed, Draxus's is a little bit special because he tore it out as one piece. The others are going to require a little bit of scavenging. Whoever is going to attempt to scavenge the turret, I need you to roll me an intelligence and a science at a difficulty of 1.
All right, that should not be me. I am a dangerous idiot.
I'm gonna step forward and do that.
Okay.
Okay. So intelligence and science.
You got it.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna spend an action point. I want to get 3d20s.
There you
out
go.
of this.
There you go.
And then intelligence
Mm-hmm.
and science, which is a tag skill for me.
Noted. All right. Hey, that's 2 successes, which means you get your action point right back. And yeah, what I would say now is this will cover both of the 2 turrets so that we don't have to roll this each time. Overall, I would like you to roll me 4 d20, just normal roll it, don't go through the generic roller. And that's how many fusion cells you are able to scavenge from the destroyed laser turret. You'll also, after you've rolled that, roll me 2 challenge dice or 2 combat dice. And that is how many uncommon materials like that you could use for, building things with that you will get. So it looks like you get 32 of the ammo of the fusion cells, and you get 4 uncommon materials. So make note of that wherever you care to make note of it.
Can we add that to the loot handout, or can we edit
If-
that?
if you wouldn't
Let me
mind,
see if you can edit it.
I do
Yeah,
actually
you can edit
use
it.
those. If I could have maybe just a couple of them for my laser gun, that'd be fantastic.
Sure. Yeah. So just take a number, and I'll put the rest in the ammo here.
Could I
Okay,
take
now-
12? Is that cool? Can we put a nice even 20 into loot?
Sure. Yeah, works for me.
Yeah.
20 fusion cells. Is that right?
Fusion
Yeah,
cell
I don't think
ammo,
it
yeah.
is. Don't you think you have it on the list yet? But
No. I'm saying to you. I'm clarifying fusion cells,
yeah, fusion cells, you got it.
and then for
Uncommon
For what?
materials is just make a note
Uncommon-
somewhere that it's 4 uncommon materials. We're not gonna go like in depth like Fallout 4 did, where like you have to get like so many bottle cap openers, you have to get so
Sure,
many
yeah.
pencils. No, we're gonna keep it nebulous.
Okay, yeah, I added it to the loot there.
Thank you.
Nice,
Sweet.
thank you.
So the other thing I would say is that Draxus, if you want to literally add a damaged laser turret to your inventory, you can, because again, you tore yours out intact. And Nicola T, as Worm is working, is there anything you'd like to inspect or anything you'd like to do while that's happening?
I would like to just search around the immediate area within eyesight and earshot of my allies just to see if I can scrounge anything. Being careful to watch out for landmines.
That was going to be my next question. So I would like you to roll me a perception and an explosives, please. Difficulty of 2.
Oh, hell.
And an explosive perception.
I could also maybe give you perception sneak now that I think about it.
I would love it if you did. I wouldn't say no. There it is.
He could, but he won't.
That's fair.
All right. If there's other mines here, you have no idea. But
what?
I will give you this. As you're checking around and you're just sort of like going through anything that's open, like you're checking desks, you're checking filing cabinets, you do find the following. You find a bottle of Nuka-Cola Quantum. That's on page 160 of the core rulebook. And you find 2 Mentats on page 165.
So I'm
And
going to
that's in one
return.
filing cabinet.
Oh, okay.
The other filing cabinet that you open are a number of blank employee ID cards. And you don't know what the purpose of these ID cards are, but if you show them to Worm, Worm might be able to figure it out.
I'm going to do that. And I'm going to take the Nuka-Cola Quantum bottle. I'm going to hide it behind my back and be like, hey, guys, I found these mentats. And, oh, Draxus, you look a little parched right now. You feeling thirsty or anything?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I could. The Brahmin blood's not really great as a
No, I
thirst
mean,
quencher.
you know what washes down Brahmin blood real good is a nice Nuka-Cola Quantum.
Oh, this is why you are my favorite human.
I love you, man. There you go. And I'll hand him the Nuka-Cola Quantum.
And Doc, you're my favorite ghoul. If that makes any difference.
No, it doesn't.
All right, well, bottoms up.
You want to add those 2 mentats. Also, Doc, I found these security card thingies. I don't know. They look stupid. Figured maybe you know what to do with them. Hand them to the doc.
Yeah, of course. I'm an expert in all things stupid. Let me just take a look at these.
Yeah, that's why I brought them to you.
Uh-huh.
About
Yeah. Go fuck yourself.
All right, Dr. Worm, if you Dr. Worm, if you want to give me an intelligence and a science here, difficulty of 2, and this will reveal if you can figure out what the badges are for.
Intelligence and science. Again, science is a tag skill.
Noted. No successes. Do you wish to reroll with luck?
Yes, I do. So I'm going to reroll one of those. Wait, hold on. So did we rule that we can spend multiple luck on the
yeah,
same
you
roll?
can spend multiple luck for different dice, but you can't spend it on one die over and over and over.
Sure. So I'm going to reroll both of those then.
All right.
Spend my 2 luck. Intelligence, science.
1 success, unless you have a 5 in science.
No, I only have a 3 in science.
Okay. Then here's what's going to happen is I'm going to give you only partial information here,
Okay.
which means if you want more information, you'll have to give me the AP for it. But what you know on a basic level is that these are master biometric badges, meaning that whoever wears these badges is seen as non-hostile to certain defenses.
Okay. Certain defenses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Long story short, if you wear one of these bad boys, provided they're working, the little defenses around here should just ignore you. They think you're buddy.
Right on. I'm going to take one back and clip it to my leather jacket. How do I look, Draxus?
Badges? Yeah, all right, I'll take one. You look sharp, Nikki. Real sharp, like it belongs there.
Thanks, man. You know, that's why you're my favorite Deathclaw.
Yeah, you look like you, but if you took a low-paying job at the Citgo.
Is that a good thing?
I mean, it was back before the world was a
You
nuclear
what-
hell.
Hold on. Why don't you decide?
I'm gonna think it's a good thing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you do that.
Okay. Thanks, Doc. You know, you're not so bad.
You too,
At
buddy.
this,
And I'm going to turn around to Draxus and be like, what a fucking idiot.
it's at this point that you guys have actually cleared out the first floor, and it's taken maybe about 30 minutes if it really matters. What you are able to find, though, is a staircase that leads to the second floor. And since presumably all of you are wearing badges, no mines go off, no turrets come out, you are able to get to the second floor no problem. And what you see is that, unlike the first floor, which is split up into several rooms, the second floor is completely open. It's a singular space. And what you're seeing is several desks that are sitting in rows, and they're all facing one much larger oak desk that is facing away from a window. And there are varying filing cabinets and other storage receptacles that are sort of dotted throughout the room. But what maybe catches your attention most of all is the working terminal on the big desk. You know it's working because it's casting a green light on the wall behind the desk.
So this feels too good to be true. And I feel like if we walk up there, something bad's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Draxus, you go.
All right. I thought this was like a partnership.
I'll be right
yeah,
behind
I
you,
was thinking
Draxus.
like-
Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll be right
but-
behind you.
Right behind you.
You're tough. You're feeling refreshed from the Nuka-Cola. Don't
Right.
forget that. You are the most likely to survive a direct hit from a landmine. I mean, it just makes sense.
Yeah, you know, and you are a doctor.
Exactly.
We shouldn't put the doctor in danger.
Nope.
You're right. Ever.
All right, I'll do it. I'll do it for you.
Yeah, Draxus will just walk up.
All right. I have good news and bad news. Which would you like first?
Give me the bad news first.
The bad news is there is no bad news. You just
Aw.
walk to the terminal just fine.
That is bad news. It's okay.
That's perhaps worse.
Yeah.
I don't trust it.
Hey, sometimes I put the words overthinking on a wall and know that you'll look at the overthinking and spend like 40 minutes there. Sometimes it's literally just an unlocked door. That's all it is.
Sometimes
All right.
cigar is just a cigar.
Sometimes it's just a cigar, as they say.
So something I do have to ask Draxus, though, because I think we've been back and forth on this, if my memory is correct. Can Draxus read?
Yes. Draxus is literate. However, that being said, he's going to look at the screen and look up at Worm and Nicola T and say, all right, maybe nothing, but the screen says something about a self-destruct.
Don't push anything.
No, yeah, just stay with still.
touch
Stay
it.
where you are.
Oh, wait, no, sorry. It actually just says command prompt.
Yeah, don't touch anything. Don't even look at it.
Those-
Don't
I was-
breathe on it.
You
Oh,
were
those
supposed to get like way more animated when I faked you out with the. So just come up here.
Oh no! Don't push the button. Oh, I'm so scared. Oh
That's a
no!
delayed
You're real
reaction.
funny and
I love it.
scary.
I
Oh
love it.
man! Whoa! Hey!
Hey,
I like
I,
elbow the doctor. Be like, just come on, just do it. He needs this. Yeah, come on. Oh, scary. Woo.
I'm quaking in my boots.
Swinging in his boots.
My bowels have just released.
I'm running back to the Brotherhood of Steel. I'm ending my sabbatical early. Oh,
I'm just getting back in the fucking ground because apparently I'm just a corpse.
oh.
That's how
That
scared
is,
I am.
hey, that is not true. You are much more than just a corpse.
Yeah, I'm a corpse tagging around with you folk.
I mean, that's something.
Yeah. I'm gonna walk over to the computer and take a look at it
All right.
and drag the doctor. Well, not drag. Just ask that he comes with me.
These keyboards are not accessible for me.
I am a doctor, not an actor.
Well, with all of you now at the terminal, I can tell you the following. You are seeing 4 accessible entries. The first is labeled Lab Report Deep Range Transmitter. The second entry is labeled DST Activation. The third is labeled Mars Outpost Report 1. The final entry is Mars Outpost Report 2. And interfacing with the terminal doesn't require any rolling, doesn't require anything, just pushing a button and having it come up. Which of the entries would you like to come up first? And all I would ask is that somebody actually reads out the entries, because while you can see it in Roll20, the chat can't, or the people listening in can't see it.
Start with number 1 and work our way down.
Okay. Here is the first handout then, the lab report on the deep range transmitter.
The boys down in the lab tell me that they should be able to finalize their upgrades to the DRT by the end of the week. We're talking half the size and able to ping a signal back and forth from Mars within 11 minutes. The only problem is that they keep getting distracted by my secrecy. I know she's a freckled redhead with great badonkadonks, but they should have some class, especially because she bats for the other team.
It's secretary.
What?
You said they keep getting distracted by my secrecy. That says secretary.
Oh, sorry. English is my second language. All right. Let's go to the next one.
Well,
Right.
we're just going to gloss over that? Hold on a second. I mean, that is verbatim what Angela looks like, right? I mean, those are the two elements. Redhead, badonkadonks. Like, that's there.
I find the fact that that is all you see when you look at her, frankly appalling.
Yeah, that's terrible. As
She's-
Nicholas looks off and goes
She's
into dreamland.
she's human. It's not like they're going to describe her as, I know she's a freckled redhead with a deep love for knitting. You know, like, don't put me as some kind of sexist pig. I'm just reading the stuff off the terminal, okay?
Bet you should
Plus,
man.
she bats for the other team. I don't know if you know what that means, Nicola T, but it looks like you're gonna have to find a new chick to pine over.
Well, it just means they probably had like a softball league or something, right? Like,
Well, yeah, but I
like
mean,
skins and
in
no skins or something. or-
single household sports rivalries are always a bad idea. That's a
Yeah,
death knell for any relationship.
I mean, it's a sports
you-
reference, right? Like baseball or something.
you sweet summer children.
You keep talking about summer and children. Like,
Let's just
making
move
me
on to
uncomfortable, doctor.
the next. Let's move on to Mars Report 1, shall we?
Yeah, let's go to the next report.
All right. So I actually do want to
Yeah.
ask. There's DST activation, and then there's the Mars report. Do you want to skip the DST
no.
activation?
Bars report 1, please.
Okay.
Okay.
You read-
let's
Let's
you
do
read
Mars
let's not
report
turn
1.
that thing on immediately.
There is Mars report 1.
Error data expunged. Reason you know too much.
I mean, that's a blatantly false statement. I don't know anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here at all.
Why would they? Okay, no, okay. This was clearly done manually. This wasn't the result of the computer system doing a normal archive or deletion. Like, that's a message, right? Computers just don't normally talk like that. Something's going on here. We open up the next one.
In comes Mars report number 2.
There is nothing on Mars. Glory to mankind.
I don't understand why all this emphasis would be placed on some town in Pennsylvania.
What?
What?
Mars. Mars is a town in Pennsylvania.
Is it?
You think they need a deep range transmitter to contact the fucking locals of Mars, Pennsylvania, when phones existed?
Listen, I didn't design this. I don't know what they were trying to prove, but all I'm saying is Mars is in Pennsylvania. I don't know what to tell you.
Dr. Worm's going to turn and look at Nicola T now.
I'm going to talk to you since you seem to be the only adult in the room besides me. It's pretty clear that whatever they were doing, they were monkeying around with deep space transmissions. That's not good, okay? And the fact that we have messages and error expungings, That's bad. So I would suggest this is not my medical expertise talking, just my self-preservation instinct. Maybe not turn that transmitter on. Maybe.
All right. Now, counterpoint. What if we did though, and something cool happened?
Yeah, but Nikki, nothing cool ever happened in Mars, Pennsylvania.
Well, okay, it's not. You know what? Nicola T's feeling a little randy. He's just gonna boop boop click and click the second thing. See what happens.
No, come on, no.
What? It's Mars, Pennsylvania. How bad can it be? I got you, Drexus.
There's your final handout.
Checking clearance, authorized, alert. DST has already been activated at the following coordinates. Connection with Mars outpost 1 established. Unable to terminate power remotely. Cool.
And the location, if I can direct your attention to the big map of the Commonwealth, just give it a moment to load. So you guys are up here. Well, that's where Salem is anyway, where Motley Heights is. Your actual location is probably right about here in this area to the southwest. Bless you, by the way. And the location you're given is actually over. Let me actually use something you can see. There we go. Color you can see. So this here is where it directs you to. It directs you to another part of the quote-unquote Boston landscape. In particular, it is directing you to what is known as Nahant. At least I think I'm saying that correctly.
Well, this adventure just got a little bit more adventurous, dare I say. Nobody?
I actually legitimately hate you.
You know what? That's okay. You'll learn to love me.
You're talking about Stockholm Syndrome.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. Stockholm, is he a cool guy?
But sure as hell isn't a town in Pennsylvania.
Well, Mars is. Let's go check it out.
No, Stockholm's in Sweden.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go outside and just shoot myself in the fucking head. You guys do what you want.
Can you believe this guy doesn't know like where Mars, Pennsylvania is and like Stockholm? Like, I don't. Some kind of doctor he is.
Also, like, he's just. I don't know, man. Like, maybe something's, going on in life. Or
can't hear you chambering around.
Maybe we should talk to him sometime. I mean, we are a little hard on him, calling him like undead and a freak and
that's
fake
that's
doctor.
just that's you. That's exclusively you.
Tell him that he's a piece of shit and worthless.
Closing the door so you don't see any of the brains.
And I really just, I feel like we really need to like step up our game and be better friends and colleagues to this man.
I'm raising the gun.
I'm spending 2 AP that you just hear worms screaming and a little bit of a rad roach wing just, fly past a window.
Ah!
Oh
just
God!
Some wild shots.
Oh God! Did he do it? And Draxus is gonna burst at the fuck. No! You've got so much to live for.
I want you to see his worm literally being onset by another small rad roach. Because apparently that's the running gag we have here.
I'm just wasting all my gunshots.
Can I do a quick exploration of this upstairs? See if I find anything useful.
You certainly can. Go ahead and roll me a perception and a survival. Since you're doing it quickly, I am going to make the difficulty a 2.
Well, in that case, I'm going to spend one of those action points and delete these 2 dots I put on the map. And we'll do 3. And we'll do special is perception.
Draxus, for fuck's sake, just eat this thing. Crush it. Do something.
All right. Do you wish to spend luck to reroll any of those?
Yeah, I want to reroll that.
Actually, wait a second. Is survival tagged for you?
It is not.
Yeah, then you would have to spend luck to reroll if you wanted to get it.
You're playing a Fallout game and survival isn't a tag skill?
Oh, well, hey, there you go. You got your 2 successes. So what we're going to do here is this is where we're going to take our break. So as Nicola T frantically grabs whatever is not nailed down, we see Draxus jumping out of the window or the hole he made in the wall and just batting best he can at this rad roach that is annoying the hell out of Dr. Worm. But yeah, let's take a 5 to 10 minute break. We'll be back shortly. Stick around. Welcome back, everybody. If you're just tuning in, the Intrepid Trio has looted and survived I don't want to call it harrowing because it really wasn't harrowing, but they've survived scavenging some materials and other goodies from an ArcJet Systems office. However, in the process of doing so, they've come across a very disturbing set of terminal entries, and we rejoin the action maybe about 5-10 minutes after the last Radroach has been eliminated, with Draxus, Nicola T, and Dr. Worm outside the office deciding what to do next.
All right, so, Doc, you seem a little freaked out.
I am, I believe, on record as being not fond of those flying fucking dipshits. It's not great for me, and honestly, they're not great for anybody. They're unsanitary and they're violent and they should be wiped off the face of the earth. Okay, they're the rats of the ground, is what they are.
I mean, I thought rats were the rats of the ground.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, smart ass. Yeah. Why don't you try spelling bratwurst again? How about that?
You know, Doctor, it feels like there's something that you're not quite maybe, dealing with. Maybe some sort of deep, repressed feelings about these rad roaches. Is this something you'd like to talk about?
No, never with any of you.
And also, I feel that, I get a very strong empathic sense sometimes, and I'm just thinking that maybe, I'd like to know why you feel the need to lash out at people who care about you.
First of all, we're in Boston now, so your hippy dippy sensitive California bullshit doesn't work here. Okay, it's wicked shit is what it is. Okay. Secondly, some people just have hangups about things, okay? And I think the best thing, the most respectful thing, is just to leave it alone, to not talk about it and not interrogate it, and just let it be.
What if we did that immersion therapy thing you were talking about? Maybe that would help you get over your fear of, bugs.
Okay.
I think we'll table this for now.
That's fair. Yeah.
Do we want to go to this Nahant place?
I mean, maybe. I mean, personally, I'm curious as to what, is down at this location that the computer told us to go to. Could be something interesting. We're supposed to get more parts. We barely got enough scrap for one turret. We're going to need at least more than one turret to defend the town. So, should probably go find some more things.
First things first, we need to go back to the settlement, okay? Because we got to drop all this stuff off, and then we got to talk to Badonkadonks there to figure out if she knows anything about this transmitter.
I mean, wouldn't that make her as old as you are?
Possibly, yeah. Which means that she has an excellent plastic surgeon, that's for sure.
Ooh, what if she's a synth?
Wouldn't that be a twist?
Well, let's go, I guess.
All right.
Everybody seems to be staring at me all of a sudden. And it's making me
God,
a little...
can you imagine a synth Deathclaw? Oh God.
It's making me a little uncomfortable. So I'm gonna start heading back, and you all can just follow at your leisure, I guess. Just, Doctor, please stop staring at me like that.
And as the doctor lowers their shades.
Has anyone ever told you you have a baleful stare?
On several occasions.
Yeah.
Well, as this happens, you all start heading back towards the settlement that you're starting to call home. And when you arrive, it's maybe now about 4 or 5 in the evening, so the sun isn't quite, to the horizon, but it is descending at a somewhat rapid rate. And you do find Angela just sort of seated on one of the porches on the second floor of one of the housing units. And as she sees you walk into town, she calls out, "Hey, boys, find anything interesting?"
Well, yes. Are you like 100 or 300 years old or something?
I'm going to pretend you didn't just break the faux pas of asking a lady her age.
I mean, that's more of a faux pas when, she might be, 25 or 26, not 300. So, I mean, you'll beg my pardon, ma'am, but are you like 300 years old?
Also, we're not 100% confirmed you're a lady.
Yeah. We got questions.
These two do not speak for me.
You're a good egg, Draxus. You're a good egg. Be down in a second. You see her leave the porch. Hear her stomping down the stairs.
That wasn't a no.
Exactly. Classic avoidance.
That wasn't a no. She was avoiding. You talked about that earlier, Doctor. I'm starting to see how I do have those tendencies. I'm learning. Thank you for that.
And as she finally emerges from the first floor of the building, she doesn't have her weapon up, but she's just kind of holding it like you would like a carbine or something large.
Yeah.
And she walks up to, yes.
We have a wild wasteland.
Oh God.
Oh my God, we do. We do have a wild wasteland. Holy shit. All right. This is probably not the time for a wild wasteland, but this is what chat wants. So here we go.
For a wild wasteland.
Oh my God. I know what this is going to do, and I feel like I have to let the dice speak here. Angela walks out with her weapon sort of at the ready. Not at the ready, like pointing at you, but again, just sort of holding it.
Right.
She starts to say something when all of you hear the loud buzzing coming from the coast to the south. And almost like you can't even hear each other over the buzzing. And it gets louder and louder and louder until you all look, and coming over the coastline and over the buildings is a literal swarm of rad roaches. I'm not talking like big rad roaches, but this is enough that this is a plague level, like Egyptian plague level rad roaches traveling as a swarm.
You remember that one time I said immersion therapy? I was totally kidding.
Well, if anybody needs me, I'll be in the basement of the church.
Yep, coming with you, yells you Angela as she starts booking it toward the torch. To the church.
Yeah.
Dr. Worm is not going to move.
Okay.
He's going to stay right in the middle of the settlement.
Doctor?
Nicola T is going to stop, look back at the dock, shake his head, then run back and maybe try to grab him and track him towards the church. Nothing?
No. You know what? You were right.
Okay.
Maybe I do need a little immersion therapy. Okay. I'm going to stand right here and I'm going to let these motherfuckers wash all over me.
Okay.
And I'm going to come out the other side a better, stronger person.
You know what?
It is scientifically impossible that you are this stupid.
Don't science me.
Doctor?
I science you. You don't science me.
You didn't know science until
Boys,
you were
have your
already
squabble later. I'm shutting the door.
All right, but you didn't know science until you were already a man. I was born in it.
Nicola T is going to place his hand on the doctor's shoulder. He's going to look at him. You know what, Doctor? I respect your bravery, and you're not going to do this alone. Hand on shoulder, Rad Roach is coming towards us. God's help us.
What are we doing?
We're bonding.
We're being men.
We're being.
I'm gonna Dr. Worm will like draw his switchblade and just sort of have it out.
Noted. Is Draxus going to go hide is the main question.
I want it in the record that I think this is both a terrible and a delicious idea.
And he's going to stand behind them.
Nice. I think Angela looks at this and says, "You're all fucking idiots," and just slams the door behind her.
You wouldn't understand. You bat for the other team. Fucking traitor.
She can't hear that, luckily, over the sound of just a billion rad roaches flying at you. I need everyone, since everyone stood outside, I need everyone to roll me an endurance and either a survival or an athletics.
All right. One of those.
And the difficulty on this is a 2.
I can do that. Oh boy.
I'm gonna spend my last luck point to reroll one of those.
All right. Let's do this. So that is endurance and.
Well, that's a complication on Draxus.
Spending my luck point. No, I'm spending my luck point to roll that.
All right, so it looks like the Doc only got 1. Nicola T.
Spending my last 2 luck points to reroll those.
All right.
Oh boy. Let's see here.
Oh no.
Okay, Draxus has confirmed his complication.
Confirmed complication.
Well, it was nice knowing you.
Come on.
Well, he wanted to stress test the Deathclaw, so let's.
Hey, there it is. I got my 2.
So, Nicola T. Yeah, I mean, it's a swarm washing over you is not very comfortable. I mean, it's downright unnerving. But all things considered, on the other side, when they finally finish flowing past and through you, you're fine. Your outfit's fine. Your gear's fine. Maybe there's a little bit of bug residue on your face, but you're perfectly fine. Dr. Worm, since you only got 1 success, I am going to roll a number of challenge dice here.
Okay.
I need you to take 6 damage to your torso as a result of... Yeah, 6 because it's the vicious one.
6 physical damage.
Oh, yeah, 6 physical. Yeah.
Okay, so I've got physical 3, so I only take 3. All
right. So when you look over at Dr. Worm is more coated in bug guts, and maybe there's a few patches where it's very obvious that some of the rad roaches tried to chew through.
Oh.
Draxus, you've rolled a complication.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
This is the most wildest wasteland thing possible, but I think we have to lean into it.
Let's do it.
Nicola T and Dr. Worm, when you turn to look at where Draxus was, Draxus is no longer there. In fact, you sort of start looking around like, where the fuck did he go? You hear him screaming as you look up through the swarm trailing to the north. He has literally been picked up by the swarm.
It's not okay. It's not okay.
Oh, I don't even know what to do. Start swinging, buddy. Just start eating. You'll thin him out eventually.
But I'm not hungry.
Get hungry.
With my dying breath, I curse Dr. Worm.
It's at this point that Draxus, I now need you to roll me an agility and an athletics, please.
Oh, why agility? It's one of my. It's so bad. It's so
Listen,
bad.
like I said, when I rolled this, I was like, I know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
but...
well, there we go.
Beautiful.
Just start shooting.
It's agility and what now?
Agility and athletics.
Oh, whoops! No, I didn't. That wasn't done properly.
That was a misfire.
All right, agility and
Rolled the dice
athletics.
prematurely.
And my athletics is tagged as a 3. Ho, ho,
Okay. All right. So
and-
2 successes.
Yeah. Oh no, it's a 3, not a 4. So almost 3 successes. 2.
Almost.
Yeah.
So as it's starting to get to the point where you can barely hear each other yelling, the swarm swoops low over the water, and Draxus, you carve through enough of the bodies of the rad roaches to fall kaploosh into the water. So now I have to ask the question, can Draxus swim?
I mean,
All right, that answers my question. So Dr. Worm and Nicola T, you see Draxus now flailing about in the water, trying to stay floating.
this is
Not really working.
literally no better.
Ah, shit.
Or run towards the water. Yeah, I'd find some rope maybe or something that I can toss to him and drag him in.
I'm going to say he's at long range from you right now. So it would have to be one hell of a toss to get a rope out that far.
All right, so hear me out. There's a way to toss a rope. I'm going to coil it up, bundle it, so that it's all one solid like bundle of rope, and then I can throw it so that the weight is all together. I used to work on boats. This is a thing. I'm not just tossing the rope. I'm
I know.
coiling it and tossing it, right? Maybe it's only a medium range then, right?
Tell you what, if you can roll me the same sort of skill that would be a throwing knife, which, if I remember correctly, is a agility and throwing test.
Will be throwing, yeah.
What I'm going to say is that this is at a difficulty of 3. But as a reminder, you can give me action points to buy D20s.
Take 3 action points, YOLO. Let's go.
Okay.
And I got to save my buddy.
And that is exactly what you need. Very, very nice.
I'm coming, buddy. Just hold on. Woof.
Rope goes soaring over the water, and Draxus, you're able to grab onto the rope right before you go under. And I'm going to say the rope is long enough that you can start pulling Draxus in if both you and Worm work at it.
Doctor, I need your help.
And Dr. Worm will just sort of stride over there and with a probably unearned confidence, just grab a hold of the rope and start pulling. Says nothing.
After about a minute of pulling, Draxus, you finally get your feet underneath you. You can finally breathe again. You have returned to the settlement.
I think we can all agree that we're going to table this and never speak of it again.
Well, I learned something.
Oh, all right.
Not afraid of heights. Am afraid of drowning.
That's a pretty common fear.
Yeah.
You're not
Character
alone
growth.
in that.
Oh, yeah, growing.
All right, well, Rad roaches. I'm going to be tasting that for weeks.
It's at this
Well, we
point that
gotta go talk
Angela
to that
walks up
traitor
behind
now.
you.
Okay. Oh,
Angela
I
walks
said
up
that
behind
out
you all and says, okay, so why is Draxus wet? Why do you look like you've been eaten by something? And why do you look like you're about to ask me something stupid?
Could you clarify which one you're
I got
directing that to?
I got it. Rad roaches, because he is.
Fair. All right, ask your stupid question.
Are you 300 years old and did you used to work at ArcTech?
No, I'm not 300 years old, and no, I never worked for ArcJet, no.
But
I
you're
think,
a freckled red head with big badonkadonks.
I think
Oh boy.
I think I've got this one. You see, because you bear a superfluous resemblance to a vague description that we read on a computer screen.
It's an exact description of her. All the important characteristics.
You know, I'm going to go...
Look at her. Just look at her.
She looks just like it.
She's a human.
100%.
She's a human. All you humans look the
They
same.
all look the same.
Yeah.
You all look the same. Literally all look the same. 2 arms, 2 legs, head, 2 eyes, ears.
Mostly
Pretty squishy.
meat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no words for what I wish to do to all of you. No words.
Hey, lady, I'm basically at this point fucking invincible, so do your worst.
She looks very sternly between Nicola T and Draxus at this point. Finally settles on Nicola T. Just so you know, I may have big hooplas, but that's not my main defining quality, you sexist son of a bitch.
That's fair. I'm sorry, ma'am.
Good, because you know what we're going to do? We're going to clean this town up, and you are going to get every little bit of rad roach that just end up on the sides of the buildings until I feel like I can eat off the side of the buildings. How does that sound?
That sounds like a fair punishment for my ineptitude and unwarranted sexism. Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, and I'm also rescinding your Nuka-Cola rations for the week.
See, that is you've taken it. You were a 10. You're back down to a 7. And you're going to keep on.
Oh, I'm
dropping,
a 7
all
now.
Right? Yep, you're a 7.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
But Dunkadunk, just redheaded, freckled, 100-year-old bitch. Just walk away and start cleaning the town.
So unless we actually want to role play it out, I think we can say that you guys get a good rest. You guys get something to eat, something to drink. Your luck will refresh because we're actually going to go a little past 2 hours. We're going to go probably more closer to 3. So your luck will refresh at this point, and you will heal all of your HP. So make a note of that. When you awake the next morning, what you find is the skies are overcast. Not to the point that you have to really worry about, say, a rad storm, but this is more just your casual, like, overcast coastal city type thing where, you know, maybe some spitting of rain is in the forecast, but definitely not like a downpour. And the wind is coming out of the west at a fairly rapid rate, maybe about like 20 knots. I think that's pretty rapid if I remember my knots correctly.
That's fast wind.
It's whipping.
Yeah, it's almost a gale. It's not quite gale force, but it's definitely gusty, I think is what I'm going for. And as you all sort of, you know, check your gear, get ready, Angela kind of walks up behind you all and says, all right, well, I got the one laser turret installed that's watching over our gear. You buffoons want me to come with you, or should I stay here and not suffer intelligence damage? I'm going to go with...
Are we still talking? I thought you were...
Yeah, I thought we were talk to us anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we were all misogynist pigs. That
yeah, you know. I mean, I thought you didn't want to hang out with us anymore.
Wow, you think that little of me?
I don't know what you are. Okay, you're like a vampire or something. I don't know. Okay, literally,
a vampire.
100% of the way you were described on a terminal in an ArcJet Systems place, and I can only assume that since you don't look like me, you must be a goddamn vampire.
Okay, let's actually not table that. Let's actually explore this for a little bit. You say you read a description of me. What did it specifically say?
It specifically said, and I quote, a freckled redhead.
Okay, stop there. Do you see any freckles? She points at her face. No freckles.
On your face? No.
Where else would freckles be?
Wow.
Wherever there is skin. That's just simple biology.
She rolls up her sleeves. Her arms are fine. She rolls up her pant leg. Nothing there. Do I have to show you anything else? Because I'm not stripping down further. Do you see any freaking freckles?
I mean, I'm just going to... If you guys are going to do this here, I'm just going to go.
Okay, so maybe that was inaccurate. But the rest of the description is 100% on point.
You know what, Doctor? I think the young woman does have a point. She doesn't have any freckles.
That we know of.
But, you know, speaking that it did come from a professional work environment where I assume, unless, wait, in the past, did everyone walk around naked? Is that a thing, Doctor? Like, before the bombs?
there were specific communities where that was in vogue, but
Okay.
that wasn't the norm.
Not like the norm thing. So so logically speaking, that's the word, logically, right? Then more okay. Yeah, you should come along. Let's go. We'll make a big day of it.
Hold on.
Oh, wait.
There needs to be somebody here. I mean, that laser turret could just shit the bed at any point, and then all of a sudden nobody's watching over the gear.
Oh, no,
You know-
no. I've got it hooked up to the 512 in the basement of the church. And I overcharged that sucker. Whoever walks in that door without one of these shiny badges that she shows that she's wearing, they're going to get a big old overcharged laser blast to the face.
Good enough for me.
Right.
You know, I kind of agree with her. Maybe somebody should stay behind. You know what? I'll just hang out here.
No.
Oh, no, you should go. I can't be that mean. You can go, Draxus. I'll stay.
Oh no, I'm just gonna stay here and guard the Nuka-Cola.
Okay, new plan. I'm going to stay to make sure nothing happens to my Nuka-Cola.
Our Nuka-Cola.
No. Okay, no. New plan, superseding the old plan. We're all leaving.
Okay, sure.
That way, no one is responsible for any subtractions or logistical issues with the Nuka-Cola.
Why don't you roll me a charisma and a speech here? Difficulty of 2.
Charisma and a speech.
I believe it, Dr. Worm.
Okay. Charisma and a speech. Not my worst skill, but not my best.
Oh, no successes.
Absolutely nothing. Can I spend 2 luck? I'm going to spend 2 luck points. Because why
GMs,
not?
take note. This is how you get your players to waste their luck, is you put a challenge like this in front of them, and they're motivated to make sure that they pass. So they spend all their luck.
This guy.
Hey, I'm a willing participant. You're not manipulating me.
As long as you keep thinking that, buddy. As long as you keep thinking that, I have a job. Okay, there's your 2 successes. So I think Angela does nod and says, all right, I'll come with you, but there better be what I remember there being in that fridge when we get back here. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to burn the entire Commonwealth.
Seems like an overreaction for a couple of soda pops, but you know, I'm just a big dumb misogynist. So what do I
You know, it's not a couple of soda pops. It's a couple of dozen soda pops.
And honestly, that seems like the reaction that a 300-plus-year-old vampire would have. But
Okay, we're walking,
That's just
Draxus.
me.
We're walking. We're
That's what I'm
walking.
saying. Doc, I think you're onto something here. I think she's either a vampire or some sort of wereghoul or like a werepire or like a pie vam or something.
Well, a wereghoul, like the full moon rises and she just gets all green. Like, how does that work?
I don't know. She might. I read it in a book sometime.
No, you didn't.
I don't know. Maybe I did. You don't know. You don't know.
I definitely know you didn't.
I might have. You ever been inside a Brotherhood of Steel bunker and seen our libraries?
No, can't say that I have.
Well, then there we go. And when you assume, it makes an ass of you.
And you too.
Nope, just him. That's the only one. And I squirm off.
You two passed several hundred years ago. They're not together anymore.
This is me laughing, not Angela, just to be clear.
All right, let's get to the crazy Mars station. Let's go to Pennsylvania. Let's go.
You know, I always find it a little strange is that people always say things like they passed. I mean, well, just call it like it is. They probably got blown up by an atom bomb.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was maybe going to argue that point, but no, medically speaking, it's probably better just to be honest.
On that note, you all take a lovely jaunt to the south following the coastline. And the waves are a little bit choppier today, again, thanks to the wind. There's a bit of sea spray in the air that, tastes salt on the wind, all that lovely coastal city type stuff. Eventually, you come to a singular bridge that leads from the mainland out to what is essentially an inlet. And the water gets deeper the further you proceed out onto the bridge. But as you're walking along the bridge, there's a point where you almost have to stop and almost do a double take about your surroundings. About halfway across the bridge, it turns from sort of that stereotypical wasteland, like dilapidated structure. So, the wood's rotting, there's, rusted metal, things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
At about the halfway mark, it starts to look pristine. It starts to look like it's been well kept, like it's been polished and painted recently. And if you sort of squint from where you are at this moment, you sort of squint to the inlet, you see that the buildings are in a similar state, meaning that, again, instead of that atom-bombed wasteland feel, we're seeing actual glass in windows. You're seeing white picket fences that would have gone over quite well in pre-war. You're seeing signs that, almost to put it this way quite succinctly, someone has taken pre-war Nahant and transplanted it to current day.
Why didn't we move in here?
Well, we weren't aware of it until now.
Yeah, that tracks.
Also, this just stinks of danger, bad vibes.
Yeah, I don't feel good about this at all.
And I think Angela maybe looks sort of squinting and goes, well, those two people there seem to be all right. And she points them out, and you see that there are two individuals, both men by the look of them. And they're wearing white robes with a black symbol on their back that you can't quite make out from here.
Nope.
That's
You
ticking. That's ticking all the check boxes of a place I just do not want to go.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
getting a real culty vibe here,
Yep.
Like a post-apocalyptic cult vibe. Is that just me or?
Nope. That's
All right.
ringing all those bells.
Yep. Ding, 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 ding.
I always say, like, I don't like it when people run from me, but when they don't, it kind of puts me off a little bit.
It's like something you get used to, like you're expecting it, like it kind of hurts, but also when it doesn't happen, you're like, wait a minute, what's wrong with you?
Well, it's like, why wouldn't you run?
Because you're in a cult and you fear nothing, and you probably eat people.
Right.
Yeah.
GM, are they facing us
let's
or
go say
facing
hello
away
to the
from us?
locals.
No, actually, they're just walking by. They're just sort of walking along the street, having a conversation. If they've noticed you, they don't seem to care. And in fact, as you're watching them walk down the street, you see more people start to come out of the buildings. And after maybe about 5 minutes, I'm going to let you all make the call here, but to anyone who's been to Diamond City, there's more people here in robes than there are at Diamond City.
That's crazy. Is there anyone close by that could be like, excuse me,
Yes.
person?
Yeah, you can snag someone as you proceed down the bridge. You can snag someone, walking by. And as they turn to you, you do get a glimpse at the symbol on their back. So, if you will imagine a circle made out of stars surrounds what could be an E, if the E was 3 lines in the middle instead of a solid block.
Oh, shit. Okay. I think these guys work for the Enclave.
The who?
What?
Oh, wait, the fucking Enclave?
Yeah, look at the E. It's the fucking E, man. The E.
That feels bad.
I mean, if you're in a cult, if you're in the Enclave, if you're in a cult in the Enclave, no way.
Yeah,
No way.
That's double plus bad, right?
Double plus bad, yeah.
I
excuse me.
I think the term is double plus ungood, says Andrew.
Well, yes. Dr. Worm
he'll respond like, "All right, so I only read like half of that book. Okay."
I actually have a copy in the trunk we're keeping all our shit in. If you want to read it, I can.
So what do we do?
I'm gonna interact with this person walking up to us. Excuse me, Mr. Probably not an occult person. Where are you guys all walking off to in your nice fancy robes?
So the gentleman who actually reaches up and pulls off his hood to reveal a solid, like, almost in real life me right now, where it's just you could reflect lasers off that bald head. Yeah, he's actually completely hairless across his entire head. No eyebrows, no eyelashes, nothing.
Is he
But he sort of
albino?
looks at you all and says, "Ah, are you here to worship her?"
Who are you worshiping?
Oh,
Well, her, of course.
Who is her?
Well, everyone knows who she is.
Obviously, I don't, because I keep asking. Maybe you could fill me in so that I could understand her glory.
Let me rephrase that. A new member to the Brotherhood. I would be happy to
Possible.
show you.
Yeah, just more with your words. Don't want to go walking into any weird things yet. Just who is this she?
Well, everyone knows her.
All right, I see this is going nowhere. We'll turn back to my compatriots. So they're crazy, and apparently they worship a she person. No offense, ma'am. Yeah, and he's bald and hairless. So I'm uncomfortable. That's all I got to say.
And Angela kind of crosses her arms and goes, "I don't know. I mean, if they're worshiping a woman, maybe they're onto something here."
Maybe we're not misogynist. Maybe you're misandrist. Do you ever think about that?
I'm gonna just pretend that the last 2 hours of you bickering whether I'm a vampire or not, I'm just gonna let that one go.
Mr. Worshipper, can
You
I
may
ask
call me
you?
Brother Harad.
Okay, Brother Harad. Why aren't you running from me?
Well, she accepts worshippers of all kinds.
All right, as much as I lobby for, Deathclaw rights, this is checking a whole bunch of boxes that. Well, I don't have a good feeling about this one, Doc. I don't know.
Oh, really? What gave it away?
Mostly the cult.
The giant E and the bald head and the hairlessness and the repetition of she and not a whole lot going on upstairs.
I think Dr. Worm will somewhat surreptitiously draw and flick open his switchblade and just grab this guy by the scruff of the robe and then put the switchblade up to his throat and say, "Listen here, you bald fuck. You're going to answer my questions, or I'm going to turn your trachea into a nice little ocarina that I can blow into on my days off."
Why don't you roll me a charisma and a speech, please? Now, I don't know if this is the case, but if your luck is higher than your charisma, you can spend a luck point. Okay, it's not. So for those at home, if a score, one of your special scores is lower than your luck, you can actually spend a luck to replace luck with the special in question. But yeah, I'm going to set the difficulty here. I'm going to set it at a 3. I think a 3 is probably fair.
And we have no action points.
Is there any way for me to assist him?
If you tell me how, and remember, you can give me more action points to get your dice if need be.
You have like
actually
7?
Hold up. It looks like Gray Matter just got you guys 3 action points with the Nuka-Cola.
Oh my God, Gray Matter in the clutch. Let's go. This guy.
Play the game.
I love it.
I'm going to spend all 3 of those.
Spend all 3, yeah.
So I can roll 4 d20s.
Yeah, Nicola T, how are you assisting? Because you might need it.
So I would like to assist by blocking him from view, and mainly just distracting if anybody else looks over, like the weird cult people. Be like, yeah, it's fine. We're just having a conversation with brother, Baldhead over here. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Why don't you roll me your own charisma speech, and then we'll deal with the result that Hex just rolled.
Not
it-
if I spend the luck to re-roll that.
What I'm saying
Also,
though is you might want to wait to see if Nicola T crits. That way you might only need to re-roll one, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
do
I
I
know.
roll 1 die or 2 die?
One die, as is
Okay,
tradition.
just like okay, cool. So that will be charisma is 8. My speech is tagged.
Okay.
Shamalama. Ah,
No
terrible
successes.
roll. That happens.
All right, so
Boy.
looking at what you've got there, then Dr. Worm, yeah, I think you're going to need to re-roll, if not just the 20, but you're going to need to re-roll that 14 and maybe even the 10 as well.
I'm going to spend my last 2 luck points to re-roll 2 d20s.
Okay.
6 charisma, 2 speech.
Okay. That gets you to 2 successes. I guess at this point, the only option we have remaining, because as far as I could tell, there wasn't anything to stop this. Nicola T, you could spend one of your luck points to re-roll your result.
I'll do
'Cause
it.
I don't think there's a
didn't know I
restriction on
could.
that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm
I mean, it
all
doesn't
in.
say that you can't. I mean,
Yeah, I was going to say, there is no
all in.
explicitly like assists can't do this. Okay,
Wow.
so
Wow, that's terrible. All right.
I think what's going to happen then is you try to intimidate this cult leader, cult member, whatever you want to call him at this point. And there's almost a wave of calm that comes over his face. And he kind of whistles. He kind of goes, let me actually wet my lips before I attempt to whistle. And whistles very loudly. Have no idea if the mic picked it up, but whistles, and some of the nearby cultists come running to his defense with laser pistols at the ready. So congrats, you guys found a combat encounter. And we're going to treat this like we did the combat in last session, where it's going to be you guys, them, them. So you guys get to go first. What would you guys like to do?
I would argue, since I was standing in front, that I will
Mhm.
draw my pistol and shoot at them.
Yeah,
And then
you
back
certainly
away.
can.
Yeah. All right, Doc, it's not working. Click, click, click. I'll just shoot with my 10mm pistol.
Okay.
All right, generic roller, 2, 8, 4, with a focus. Tag. How far away were they?
They were at, right now they're at medium, so I believe you actually miss, unfortunately, unless you wish to reroll.
But I have all this luck that I haven't spent yet. So I'm
This
going to
is
reroll
true.
one of those die. That one die. 1d20.
come on, 20.
4. Wow.
Close.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I think what happens there, Nicola, is you try to squeeze off a shot, and the shot just goes wide, doesn't connect with anything that you can tell.
Use my
Which
minor
means
action to move away.
that, unless you want to spend action points to do another major,
We don't have any.
okay, just making sure. Again. Oh, that's right, because for action points, you can't give me, it's only when you buy d20s. That's right. I remember now. All right, so I think that what that means is the scientist that is closest to you, aka the worm, Dr. Worm, currently has in a grapple. I think he is going to attempt to laser pistol the good doctor at point blank range. Now, normally you wouldn't be able to do this, but the laser he's using actually has close quarters.
I was
which,
about to
if I'm-
say, yeah.
Yeah, to my knowledge, close quarters means he can literally shoot within melee.
Yeah.
So let's see what he rolls. He has rolled 1, which I believe is your defense, correct?
It is.
All right. And I have further bad news. That's 3 effects, which means that's a grand total of 6 damage. In addition to this, I am going to rule that Draxus and Nicola T are within close range, meaning they will also, thanks to the burst quality, take the 6 energy damage. Each of you will take it to your left leg. So narratively, I think what happens is the scientist or the cultist, whatever you want to call them, they pull out the laser pistol and fire it down at the ground, and does so in a sweeping manner that it hits all of your legs except for Angela's. So Angela's the only one not hit by this.
So that's 6 energy damage to the
To
left
the leg,
leg.
correct.
Ah, shit, fuck. Ah, God.
You know, for a bunch of like weird cultists, they're good with guns. Ow.
And I think Angela shouts, "Just get away from each other. They can't burst fire you if you're close."
Rotten Scientology pricks.
But yeah, it's now either Draxus's or Worm's turn. And something I need to say here is that I looked it up. Angela does not get her own turn the same way you guys do. She can only take minor actions, aka moving, interacting, things like that, unless one of you uses your major to tell her to do her own major action. Which I understand why they did it, because otherwise you would just bring a bunch of followers with you and you would, action
Win.
economy things to death.
Yeah.
But I do think it needs to be tweaked a little bit, but let's play it out and see what we're feeling with at the end. But yeah, Draxus or Worm?
Well, I'm going to go.
Okay.
So he shot us, but he hasn't moved, right?
Correct.
I mean, is it conceivable that even despite that leg wound, like, I've still got my switchblade near his throat, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Open him up.
I'm just gonna like, boop, just jam right on in there.
All right, go for it.
Okay.
Open up
see.
its neck hole.
2 d20s. Yeah, just add a new neck hole.
Strength and melee weapon, I believe.
Yep. Not my strong suit, but still. Come on, big money. No whammies.
All right, you get the one that you need. Go ahead and roll me some damage. And I'm going to actually treat this as, since you are up close, you do get a free shot at his neck here.
Very good.
And what I would say is, if you roll somehow 5 damage, you can indeed kill him in one go. However, the only way to get 5 damage for you for a switchblade, I think you would have to spend AP, but you don't have any.
Right. Unless
you roll
Looking-
2s on everything, in which case, if you roll enough 2s, then...
looking at the chat.
Oh yeah, unless chat wants to maybe...
Hey, chat. How you doing?
Hey, chat. How you doing? Hey, how you doing? You want to give the players maybe a Nuka-Cola? Just a nice refreshing Nuka-Cola?
Now, maybe this is stepping beyond the rules of the game, but I have 3.6K to redeem. So I don't know. Maybe let's just say that I'm a neutral third party and decide I want to add some points.
I'll rule it this way. If you want to give yourself the redeem, I'll allow it.
I'm not.
But I will take 1 action point of my own as a consequence.
That's fair. That would be that's a fair trade. That's a fair trade.
I can't do it. No, I'm just gonna. I can't.
Okay. Hey, does the switchblade have vicious?
It has piercing 1.
Okay. Well, you deal 2 damage so you don't like plunge it in, but you do get a nice like scrape across it, and there's obvious like blood coming out.
So that's 4, right? Because piercing 1 is that?
No, it's vicious 1 that the effects count extra. Piercing just gets rid of the resistance.
The resistance. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So you do slice him a little bit, and he kind of maybe staggers back, clutching his neck. And I think one of his buddies is going to take a long-range shot at Mr. Draxus, because Mr. Draxus is the biggest target, and actually succeeds, dealing 4 damage to the right leg.
Oh, the right one now.
Did you want it all on the left leg?
Well, I mean, shoot the one that's already hurt. God.
Well, Draxus, if you want to run in and fix things.
Oh, yeah, I do. I really do. I'm going to run in. I'm going to just eviscerate the guy that just shot me in the right leg.
Just start chewing.
I'm going to close my eyes and start doing this. And anybody that happens to be in my way may get their skull crushed.
That's on you. Yeah. If you're in the way, then you made a mistake.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to run up and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try to gut him with my claws.
Okay.
All right.
Which for you is a strength and unarmed.
Yes. And unarmed is a tag skill for me.
All right, let's check. All right, so that is 2 successes, which means you do get an action point. Go ahead and roll me some damage. Let's see how well you do. And that is actually enough, without needing to reroll, that you step up to this cultist and you loom down at him. And he looks back up on you and he has realized he done fucked up as you literally drive your claws through his sternum and then throw him like a rag doll off to the side.
I feel like if I can like make some like visceral, gross imagery.
Sure.
Draxus just sort of walks up and like extends one of his like long fingers and like just jabs it into like the center of the guy's forehead, and it looks like so effortless for him, almost like you just take your finger and like just like poke it into meringue or something. It's just like just
So you are literally the brain bug from Starship Troopers. That's
delicious man meringue.
meringue.
But yeah,
Anyway, yeah. Done.
He's done so. He is.
Black Betty, man meringue.
You can have an action point for that. I'll give you an action point for that.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
All right. Which at this point, unless Draxus wants to do anything else, I think the remaining scientist is going to take a pot shot at Nicola T, which goes wide. You're perfectly fine. Which means for her turn, I think Angela is going to take a knee and start to aim up a shot, but it rolls back around. And since the allies just went and it is round 2, that means the enemies go. And the enemy who is now closest to you, now within close range, is going to fire a burst round at Mr. Draxus. Missing completely. Absolutely missing. Meaning it is now the allies' turn again. Which of you 3 would care to go?
They're intimidated by the fact that Draxus just put a finger through somebody's skull hole.
I think.
Oh yeah. If
it's okay, if it's okay with everybody else, I would like to respond.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
All right.
Do some more aggressive trepanning, please.
Here we go. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna use an action point. We're gonna roll an additional d20.
Can't hurt.
And
I say as he rolls a 20.
We get 2 successes.
All right, let's check that too. All right, that is a solid 2, which means you get that right back.
All right. And I'd like to re-roll some of those with an action point.
All right.
That's
rolling those 3
luck.
zeros.
Mm-hmm.
The action points don't let you re-roll.
Oh, is
it's just luck that lets
is it just luck? Oh,
yeah,
it's luck.
Yeah, I don't have any more luck.
Okay.
So that's 5.
Yeah, so I think with 5, what happens is you stand up and mosey on over, and as you I like to imagine maybe backhand him, he almost goes down to the ground, but he manages to still stay standing, and he does that really creepy thing in movies where like he turns back to look at you with that really wide grin with the teeth showing and his eyes are wide. It's unsettling even for you, maybe.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Sure.
The action point spends, can we spend them for additional damage?
For melee, yes, that is how you add additional damage.
Okay, so is it 1 for 1?
It is 1 for 1, yes, and you can add up to 3.
So, yeah, if I dumped both of those in, that would make that 7, which was enough to take the last
it's
guy
not
down.
damage. You still have to roll.
Oh, it just add additional challenge dice to roll.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. All
yeah,
right.
it's only Star Trek Adventures is the one that you have to. You can do the 1-to-1 spend.
Let's see. I'm gonna do that then, just because I feel like it'd be funny if he did that and then I killed him. So we're gonna. Yeah. Hopefully this pans out. Hey,
It does pan out that as he kind of
and
creepily looks back up at you,
book.
you just boink him, and he just crumples like a puppet with the strings cut, goes down to the ground. And at this point, the remaining cultist, I'm actually going to roll something manually for him because he might be a brainwashed cultist, but he's not dumb. He has failed, which means that he, instead of shooting at you further, is going to take off running towards the nearest coastline and attempt to swim away from the island because you all are kind of blocking the bridge right now. And at this point, that is the end of combat unless you want to shoot the guy in the water.
I want to shoot that guy. I don't
All
like
right,
him.
go ahead. He is now at medium range.
All right. Can I move up and get into close range?
You can.
I'm gonna do that. I don't like him. I feel like if we let him live, he's gonna come back. All right.
It's like shooting weird albino hairless cultists in a barrel.
2 successes is exactly what you need. Go ahead and roll me some damage.
I'm gonna spend 2 ammo. I'm aggressive.
Apparently, you really want him dead. You really wanted him dead, because
Wow.
this gives me flashbacks to a cyberpunk game where the guy is swimming away. You line up a shot, and boop, well, he's no longer in the realm of the living. And I think Angela at this point sort of stands up and goes, "It's a nice shot." And Draxus, I love what you did with the claw, but wow, that was a whole thing.
First of all, they started it, and with their creepy non-answering things and their back and forth roundabout bullshit, and then fuck those guys.
Well, I'm just gonna take a random guess, but given the fact that there's now nobody out in the streets, they either learned their lesson or they're about to attack us in larger numbers. Where were these coordinates you all said that we were checking out?
It should be nearby.
Yeah, it's like some kind of uplink to Pennsylvania.
An uplink to...
Don't
Okay.
listen to him.
Bars,
It
Pennsylvania.
should be,
It's like an uplink thing. Yeah.
it should be nearby. There's a transmitter or something. So just look for a building that's got like a big dish or some kind of big antenna or something.
Oh, well, I mean, if you want an antenna, how about that building there? And she points in the distance, quite literally at the other end of the inlet, where there's a building that looks like it could be almost a cross between an aquarium and a meteorological station. It does have a big antenna on it, not like super like radio tower size, but sizable enough to notice it from where you all are.
Yeah, that'll do it.
All right. Well, I'll take up the rear while you boys take the lead here.
Can we loot the bodies?
Yeah, you can loot the bodies. And actually, what I would say is no roll is required, because you did in fact trepan them. You both, from the 2 bodies on the shore, you acquire 2 lab coats. Now, for lab coats, it has a special ability. If you wear one, I know I'm basically taking the scientist. Let me actually rephrase that. You get cultist robes that when you wear them, you can reroll a single d20 on an int-based skill test once per scene.
Oh.
But you have to dress like a creepy Enclave cultist is the trade-off. And unfortunately, they are not big enough for Draxus.
Any energy cells on them?
There are 5 fusion cells.
I'm gonna pocket those.
Now, so those function exactly. It sounds like lab coats because I'm
Yes,
wearing
they are
one.
literally just lab coats reflavored for Enclave cultist robes. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I need to remember that I'm wearing that because I can reroll int tests. So
Very
I don't think
important.
I don't think I've needed to this far, but there you go.
Well, now that you've said it.
Yeah.
It's true.
All right. So what is the marching order out of curiosity here?
I'm first. Always.
You're first? Okay.
Yeah, I'll follow up behind Nicola.
And I'll be in
Puts
the rear.
Worm in the rear with Angela. All right. So again, at this point, as you're proceeding through the streets, if it wasn't for the fact that you literally just dealt with cultists, you would definitely feel that very unsettling feeling by this point, because again, this is a town transplanted from time. The fences, the buildings, the streets. I mean, hell, even the street lights are working. None of this makes sense. None of this should be here. You just get an overwhelming sense that not only are you being watched, but that there is something wrong. And that sense of wrong is the same sort of, I don't know if anybody has experienced this themselves, but sometimes when you're walking alone in the woods, you suddenly get that sort of ominous feeling of dread that sometimes people say, oh, you're about to enter into a Fey territory type thing. It's that same sort of pit of your stomach, you don't want to be here feeling. And
I don't go outside, so I don't really have that problem.
To be fair, I've only felt it once when I was in the Boy Scouts, but that was long, long ago.
That I think was a very different sense of dread, and not to,
Wow.
you know.
Come on.
To be
to bring
fair,
up
I
any
was
therapy
not looking
issues.
forward to canoeing later that day, but that's a story for another time.
Wow.
But yeah, the good news though is that while you are feeling unnerved, no other cultists come out to mess with you. What I would say is that you do maybe catch like the glimpse of a robe behind a building or a glimpse of robes in like windows. And there, if you listen really, really carefully over the gusting wind, you maybe hear a few whispers that you can't quite make out. But eventually, you arrive at this meteorological / aquarium building, and Angela sort of looks at it and points out a sign and says, "Oh yeah, what'd you look at that? That's that would be the good old Nahant Oceanological Society. Don't really know a whole lot about them, but if they're oceanological, that means they're all about the water and aquatic life and shit like that." Which you said that there was some kind of transmitter here?
But why Pennsylvania's landlocked? I don't understand why the ocean would be Drax. You getting any? Is it making any sense to you?
I mean, not really, but I guess like a cult, they're not real. They're clearly not big on fact.
That's fair.
Well, I mean, we're
Let
not
me
going to get
just-
any answers sitting out here. Do we want to go in?
No, we're going to stand out here until these two chuckle fucks understand that we're not talking about Pennsylvania. We're talking about Mars, as in the planet Mars that is next to the planet Earth in space.
I mean, Mars is so far away; it may as well be on the moon.
That's fair. Yeah.
I'm just glad that we have moved out of Pennsylvania. I'm just glad that we're now thinking in the galactic terms.
Doc,
Okay?
Doc. We never lived in Pennsylvania.
I think Angela just sort of looks between both Worm and Draxus and goes, I feel like I need to get like basic books for both of you. Like Worm needs a Dummy's Guide to Smile, and Draxus needs a My First Planets book of some sort.
Now, so you missed an opportunity there to Worm needs Dummy's Guide to Smiling. Draxus needs Dummy's Guide to Smart.
Well, you see, if I wasn't a 300-year-old vampire, like you say, maybe my brain would be working properly.
And here
mean,
it
she
is.
just-
Mittens is the first step to recovery.
She just rolls her eyes and starts walking forward.
Every single day, I pray for the sweet release of death, and it will not visit me. It will not wrap its warm embrace over me. In fact, I'm left to just wander the wasteland with these two assholes, forever being damned for some past actions I took in my life.
I mean, death may not embrace you, but I sure will. And Draxus will give him a hug.
Yeah. You know what? Let's hug it out.
Let's bring this in.
I just want to paint that picture that the wind is blowing, the sea spray is in the air, and we just see a Deathclaw hugging a ghoul, hugging a human in the middle of what the fuck is going on, Stan. And maybe
The
even a few
worst-
cultists like look out and go, what the fuck are they doing? I don't know. What are they
The worst,
doing?
the worst part of this is I can't reach for my weapon.
Well, the good news is, as tempting as it is to spend action points to break up your embrace, I'm going to let it happen. And as you pull
That's worse.
away, it's worse, yeah. I think as you pull away and follow after Angela, I think we can maybe fit in like one or two more scenes. So let's push just a little bit here.
Okay.
So when you enter into the laboratory itself, what you see is it's divided into two tiers. There's a series of catwalks, and then there's the ground floor. Now, the catwalks wrap around the entire facility itself with a steel stairway that hugs the west wall that presumably goes up to the roof based on what you know of architecture. There's also a ramp that leads down to the lower level on the east wall. Now, the lower level, from what you can see, is that you're seeing test chambers, like almost like person-sized test tubes is how I would say it. Almost like well, to use Fallout 4 for an example, almost like a cryopod that you could put things in and fill it with liquid, it tests things on, et cetera, et cetera. You're seeing those. You're seeing a few workbenches. And probably the most important thing is a large vault-like door, cog and all, that is set into the floor. And it is currently open, revealing another staircase that spirals down before ending in another corridor that leads out into the direction of the sea. And on the door itself are the letters NOC-9. And if it matters, there's also a terminal situated next to the vault door.
Yeah, I got nothing.
The terminal's not Deathclaw accessible.
Yeah, I get the picture.
And Dr. Worm will walk over and access the terminal.
All right. I'm going to need you to roll me a intelligence and I want to say science here.
Intelligence.
And the
science.
difficulty will be a 3.
Intelligence and science, which is a tech skill for me, of course.
Don't forget
Noted.
your lab coat.
Oh, I'm looking at it. Yeah. Probably going to need it because we don't have any AP and I don't have any luck. So.
Remember, you can give me AP for more. All right, so that is a 9. That is 1 success. Do you wish to reroll that 14 with your lab coat?
Yes. Intelligence. Science.
Yikes.
All right, no help there. So I need you to now roll me a 1d6, just a standard d6 dice, and that's how many entries you're going to actually get off the terminal. Wow. Okay.
All of them.
All of them, apparently. All right, well, I'm just going to read you out the titles of entries, and you tell me which ones you want to see. There's Read First. There's Contact with Mars. There's Strange Behavior. There's Running Out of Time. Then there's Error, the End.
We'll go read first. Why not?
All right. And of course, as before, if you would read it out, at least one of you read it out for the lovely people at home.
Department of the Navy, Research and Development, Naval Operations Concept 9.
And with that, Dr. Worm will look over to the door.
Yeah, that checks out. NOC 9. Yeah. RRD, blah, blah, blah. Alphanumerical bullshit. Welcome. You have been chosen by our great president to participate in what could be the greatest endeavor of all, ensuring that mankind continues to survive by reaching beyond the confines of the war-torn wastes. To do this, you will utilize the deep-range transmitter provided by ArcJet systems to maintain contact with Mars Outpost 1. Teams there have been tasked with finding a way to uplift the rest of humanity and to restore our wounded world. They will be able to guide you further. Field operations, Enclave, God bless America.
Oh, do you think these people are getting their marching orders from some crazy lady in space? And that's who they're worshiping? Like, is that she? Like, let's read the next one. I'm curious now.
Yeah, this is better than a comic book. Let's go.
All right.
So,
Here's
like,
your
the
next
next-
entry.
I could hardly believe it when we turned the DRT on and we actually got a ping back. It's been a little cumbersome to set up a method of conversing back and forth with an 11-minute delay, but we've managed to get a system down that works. Well, I say we, but it was really all Morgana's idea.
All right, and a name spelled in all capital letters always means that person's bad.
Yeah, I've read that in a book one time too.
It could just mean that her name is supposed to be shouted.
Or if that's like an acronym, and she's actually a computer.
What a twist! All right, let's keep it rolling. Next.
I'm starting to worry that the other personnel here in Knock 9 have gotten into a secret stash of chems or otherwise become ill in some way. I've caught Timothy trying to alter the bandwidth and frequency of the DRT twice, and had to actively prevent Susan from trying to break one of the windows out onto the seabed. Maybe it's just all the stress of being locked up in an underwater lab. I know it's been trying at times for me to remain sane.
Wait a second. Underwater what?
Underwater laboratory. That means it's underwater.
Oh, I'm not going underwater.
No one was asking you to, buddy.
No, I mean it's
Okay.
You're an adult Radclaw. You can make your own decisions.
All right. Yeah, you're right. I don't have to go underwater if I don't want to.
Yep, self-empowerment. That's right.
Did Dr. Worm will turn to Angela?
Does any of this sound familiar to you? Underwater lab?
No, and she kind of looks out a window at the coastline. I mean, if they have something out on the seafloor, my only guess is that wherever that staircase there leads, and she points at the Knock 9 door, I mean, it's gonna be underwater, which is, kind of cool and kind of worrying at the same time, but considering I'm not really smelling any ocean down there, I think it's safe for various definitions of safe.
That's exactly something a vampire would say, trying to get us into the dark. I'm onto your tricks.
Why don't you read the next entry before I have to drink the blood of Nicola here?
You stay away from me.
And I think she kind of does like a rar motion with her hands and bares her fangs just to mess with you.
So she does have fangs. Established.
Well,
fiction.
she has pronounced canines, is what it is.
That's canon.
Basically
She's a
the same
vampire.
thing.
There's your next entry.
They're all going mad, all of them, even me. I can feel my sanity fading. Most of them are listening to her now. I have to stay strong to resist her influence. Well,
I'm guessing crazy AI or space monster. Maybe a vampire. Oh, maybe Angela's her. Oh, what a twist.
all right, that's a bit much, even
That's
for me.
probably a stretch. I'm
the
sorry.
one who introduced the vampire idea, and even I'm saying
Well,
that's
I'm
dumb.
building upon it. I'm expanding the world and the lore of her vampirism.
I'm gonna just open this last one here.
That's fair.
Yeah, good idea.
I don't have long before she finds this. Whatever you do, don't let her into your mind. Don't contact Mars. Well, we already fucked that up. Stay far away from any Enclave laboratories.
I think we messed that one up too.
We're about to. don't let her into your mind. Never touch the blue button. Don't let her into your mind. Don't let her. And then there's a big M dash, and then it says join us. So
I feel like I'm getting mixed signals here. He says don't
Yeah.
do it, and then he ends with join us. I mean, or she, could be a
Well,
she.
maybe
right?
she's saying, don't let her join us.
So we should kick Angela out of the group, or are we keeping her in? I mean, I'm missing some.
it's not Angela. I'm
Oh, it's a
pretty sure
different.
it's-
Oh, okay.
we're talking about it. Yeah.
Right. All right. Okay.
So, just spitballing an idea here. I say we turn around, leave, and burn this whole creepy town to the ground.
All right. So I like where your mind's at with the fire, because fire is fun, but there could be a lot of cool shit down there.
It hurts me to say, but I agree with Nicola. There's probably some stuff down there. It's going to be real helpful setting up the settlement.
Just don't push the blue button and don't let her get into your brain. It's simple.
All right, that's two things. I can do two things.
And you're
you-
not actually going under the
Yeah,
water.
you're not
just
coming
going
with
into
us
a tube.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you might
Right.
be. You should. I'd like it if you came. You're not even really going underwater. You're just going into a tube.
Which is within water.
Shh, don't know. Maybe. It could be
But
just
not,
underground.
but not under.
Right?
Look, do you remember earlier, right? I stood out in the middle of the settlement and let rad roaches just fly at me like I was in the middle of a sandstorm, but the grains of sand were big fucking rad roaches.
Mm-hmm.
I faced my fears. You can do the same thing because
Right.
I believe in you. Was that convincing?
I thought it was convincing. Yeah.
I'm inspired. Yeah.
Oh, you know what the heck? All right, I'm in. Let's get this done, and then afterwards, after we get all the cool stuff, can we please burn the town down?
Oh yeah.
Oh no, that was
Oh,
still
100%.
that's 100%. We're gonna do that definitely.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
all the entire town, all the cultists, everybody, just
Oh yeah.
clean slate. Yep.
Just gonna salt the earth. Yeah,
Yeah, this
definitely.
whole peninsula just engulfed in
Good.
flame. Yeah,
Gone. Yeah.
just skeletal, scorched bodies. Yeah.
Yeah. Real Terminator 2 shit.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you watched the Terminator movies.
Wasn't
Oh,
it,
yeah.
Was it like,
So you're the only one that's gonna get this reference, Dr. Worm, but I'm totally a T1000. Just wanted to tell you.
You're a large Austrian man.
No, did you not? Oh, I see what you're saying now. I'll be back, or something like that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. He did talk funny.
So as you enter through the knock 9 door, and we're getting to the end here, so I'll keep it brief best I can. After descending several stories and several flights of stairs, you reach a corridor that leads out into the open ocean. And indeed, as you proceed down its length, you are afforded a glimpse of the sea floor out of regularly placed oval windows. And what you also notice is that there are regularly placed wall turrets, but they do not activate as you pass by them. This corridor eventually brings you to another large, open, vault-like door with the same Knock 9 label. And past its threshold is what looks to be your average Vault-Tec vault, right down to that same tacky gray metal wall texture that they use everywhere. Though there's decidedly more posters and images of Mars the planet than your average vault. There's more robed individuals here as well, but if anything, as you get closer and they see you, they sort of just hold out their arms in an opening gesture.
This is worse.
yeah, I regret this. Maybe we should just burn this place and leave.
I'm having second thoughts.
Yeah, me too.
What I'm hearing is, oh, Draxus, you were right the first time.
All right, we're all in. Let's just do this thing and figure
And
out
that
what's going on.
it's got a double meaning though, because like it's probably the first time I've ever been right.
No, you're right all the time. Why are you so hard on yourself, buddy? We've talked about this. No more self-deprecation.
Okay, so all you future clansmen or whatever the hell you are, please move out of the way. We're going into the vault.
And I think it's one of those things where as you get closer, they actually do move out of the way and they sort of whisper like, they've joined us. Yes, she will be pleased. They've joined us. And they admit you into the pseudo vault. And what you see is that the main atrium has been converted into almost like a Bioshock-like hellscape, where you're seeing at one end, there's a pedestal on which stands a transmitting device, which you assume must be the DRT. And there's a myriad of cabling and wires that come off of it and feed into these very large, like rack-sized computers off to either side of the DRT. In front of that is a podium, and before that is row upon row of benches. And there are more of these Enclave cultist type individuals. They're all praying to someone standing at the podium. Now, this individual at the podium, I'm going to let your imagination fill in the gaps here. You can tell that she has an obviously cybernetic body. It is a hellish combination of human, machine, and tentacles. And as you see her and she sees you, she holds out a hand and says, "Welcome to Knock 9, weary travelers. Join us." That's where we're going to end today's session.
Oh, fuck no. I'm out. Let's turn around.
Nope.
Burn it, motherfucker.
Nope.
Yeah, no, I changed my mind.
Goodbye.
Is she freckled with red hair or fish asking the right questions? Is she freckled with red hair and tentacles?
She's freckled with blue hair. How about that?
Does she have big badonkadonks and tentacles?
Yeah, she has. She has great hooplas.
God.
She has great coupons.
But yeah, what did you guys think? I wanted to lean a little bit into that sort of creepy angle for this one.
Good.
I mean, it went in a entirely alien direction from what maybe even literally from what I was expecting. Honestly, like I figured we were gonna get like a big mountain kind of a thing with the aliens from Fallout 3, just the nondescript like store aliens, like the gray guys with the big heads. But now we've got some kind of horrible cybernetic abomination.
You mean you weren't expecting like just to open the vault and there be the Pennsylvania's like city council in there or something?
Yeah.
Or even worse, you just open the vault door and it's literally Mars, Pennsylvania. Just you don't know how it got there. It's just literally Mars,
somehow
Pennsylvania.
Translated, yeah.
That would be glorious. No, it was a lot of fun. That was good. Yeah. Hope everyone else had fun. Thanks for turning it up. Yeah.
Didn't like
Cool.
it.
Didn't like it. Yeah, I thought so. All right. Well, Twitch, stick around. We're gonna raid somebody, but YouTube, this is where we say goodbye. So YouTube, bye-bye.